Connection handshake complete. All parameters are in the green. Encryption is active. We are ready for transmission. Greetings, wingmates. I hope that you find yourself in an adequate condition, and that whatever time it may be in your particular orbit, that you're doing well. Greetings, Ringo. Ding dong indeed. How are you today? It's been a busy week here at the, transmitting from the wishful thinking. So I was thinking today, in this time slot that we have found ourselves in, doing something a little bit more relaxing. Something with a little bit less pressure. Oh, excellent. You're doing well. Strike Vector. I've heard rumors on the JumpNet, at least your particular node, that there is some talk about that particular game. Are you a fan of it? I personally have had no experience with Strike Vector, so I don't have very little judgment about it. Let's see. So today's general plan is to continue from a previous thread of thought that we were on, which is the creation of VTuber Battlemechs, or what I have cheekily titled Project Avatar. Oh, I see. You took it for a spin tonight. Nice. How did you feel about the gameplay? So, this project is in essence using Megamek, which is a Battlemech designer for the tabletop wargame Battletech, which many of you may know from the Megamek series. Or, I'm sorry, I apologize. The Mech Warrior series. Mech Warrior 1, 2, 3, 4, and the most recent entry, Mech Warrior 5, Mercenaries. Also, there is a turn-based cousin of that video game series, known simply as Battletech, oftentimes subtitled with The Game, in order to distinguish it from the tabletop. But in essence, that is the same principle. So we will be designing a mech for various VTubers who have contributed their permission and their likeness to our little project. So let's move on to the design screen. And here we go. Ringo. It's not dissimilar to FreeSpace, but it has its own craft handling. I see. Yeah, it's once you're playing a simulator of some sort that has arcade style flight, there's a lot of similarities, I'm guessing, but as with any game, I am sure there are plenty of intricacies that we need to that would need to be understood. Okay, let me make sure that Megamek Lab is visible right now. There we go. All right. Perfect. Viewers, can you see Megamek Lab? Okay. Here we go. All right. So. Ooh. You know what? Allow me to do one thing very quickly. I just realized that it's a little bit silent, so allow me to throw this in here very quickly. Alright. There we go. Now you should be able to hear the background music here. Perfect. Okay, so today we will be designing Egg Channel's Battlemech. So Egg is a fantastic streamer who does a variety of games, but one of the things I know him for is his. Ooh, 1 second, let me find the tweet here. Is his fondness for grand strategy games. So I'll be keeping a lot of that in mind while designing this particular mech. So allow me to find the post here with the information that Egg had for the particular mech that he would like to see. Okay, and allow me to link his Twitter, just so that everyone is aware of who we are speaking about. Thank you, Ringo. I appreciate the feedback. Alright, here we go. There's the Twitter. And in general, so that there is some context, I'm going to also link the Twitter post for the actual project itself, which I will be reposting in a much more refined format. Here it is. And there is also a viewer entry for this particular project. I thought it would be inappropriate to not also have viewer participation, so allow me to link that very shortly. And 8 of the mechs will be selected from viewer submitted entries in a random manner. There we go. Yes, those links are not identical. Oh, my kingdom for a bot. Alright. So, let's go to the fluff page on this particular mech design. And let's put in some notes about what Egg's mech should be like. So some of the ideas that Egg had were glass cannon. Let's take a look once again. Here we go, here we go. Oh goodness. Twitter has such a abysmal layout sometimes. It's very difficult to navigate threads correctly. Come now. Alright, let's see. So, Egg has a very laissez-faire attitude towards the particular mech that we will be designing. So, in essence, it could be anything as long as there is something Egg about it. So I think we will have to incorporate some other aspects of Egg's personality into this particular mech design. So, let us brainstorm for some time. What is an egg? It is something that is full of potential. It is something... I will actually jot that down. So it has potential. It is something that is fragile. It is reflective of I suppose, a future. Now, a lot of these things don't apply to Battlemechs, unfortunately, simply because they are war machines. 12-meter tall war machines powered by fusion and bristling with armaments. So, perhaps they are somewhat counter-indicative of something with potential, something that is fragile, and something with a future longer than a 1-minute-long battlefield endurance as the opponent slams fire into it. So, therein lies the rub. An egg would not last long on the battlefield. Alright. However, this phrase here, glass cannon, is, I think, the primary indicator of how we should proceed with this particular mech design. I think absolutely Egg's shape must be maintained. That this particular mech needs to have an ovoid form, which would actually not be the worst thing to have, and there are plenty of examples in Battletech of mechs that do have an ovoid form. So allow me to pull up the browser here. Currently I am on Sarna, the Battletech wiki. Let me open up a new tab here. And here is a link for anyone interested. An urban mech would be appropriate. And so that everyone is aware what an urban mech is, it's this pleasant little fella. It's a 30-ton light mech, which out of the... what is the minimum weight for a lightweight mech? I think it might be 15 tons for ultralights. It may actually be 20 tons. But this is fairly low on the scale of mech weights that are possible, anywhere from, let's just say for 0 to 100 tons, although you can have 200-ton super heavies, although those are highly experimental and very few are in production. And yes, Ringo, you are quite correct. Urban mechs are definitely maxed out in armor for a light chassis. They are still very fragile, but for their weight, they are relatively strong. However, their shape is perfect, and the urban mech to see is even more ovoid, with these fantastically stubby little legs. It's colloquially in the Battletech community known as the trash can, and they actually do have a plush of it, which I do not think is for general sale, but I'm sure on eBay there will be for an absurd markup. Adorable plushes of the urban mech itself. Oh, this is a excellent pose right here. Perfect, perfect. This is from the Battletech trading card game, and as you can see, it's got quite a power stance. So I think that's inspiring me. I think this particular mech should have a power stance in its image. So another mech that is egg-shaped is the Flashman. Yes. So the Flashman is definitely not fragile, and I would say it is not necessarily a glass cannon either. It just runs very hot. So the Flashman is an energy-heavy battle mech of the 75-ton class. So it's a very solid heavy mech, and it's not quite as popular in the modern era of BattleTech, but it's certainly a decent design. I don't have as much experience with the Flashman as I would like to have. Let's see, what other mechs have a vaguely egg shape? Oh, so this is a bit different. The Stalker. It's like an egg, but horizontally. So this is another orientation that we can consider for Egg's mech design. So this particular beast is, yeah, the classic images leave something to be desired, of course. But I think this is definitely what I will be drawing inspiration from, the Stalker. Okay. So now that we have some ideas of what ovoid battle mechs could look like, and let's get a modern iteration of the Stalker. So this is definitely a new rendition from MechWarrior Online, the first-person simulator multiplayer game that is currently still being updated by Piranha Games. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at some of the potential battle mech designs, let's put the browser away and go back to Megamek Lab. Okay, so I think that we could make a mech that is fragile, so less armor than the chassis weight would expect. Stalker is definitely got that blimp on legs action going. Yes, indeed. It's a little bit chunky. It's an adorable design. Okay. So, how do we combine Egg's quirkiness and his strategic acumen in such a way that the mech is both fragile and represents Egg's ability to command a situation? Although from a distance, since a lot of those grand strategy games are not quite in the thick of things. It's affectionately known as map painting simulators. They still take quite a bit of thinking to get through. So with that in mind, there may be a command aspect to this particular mech. And with that, and to keep it fragile but also capable of astonishing power, would it be possible to strip away more armor than usual, or put on comms modules? Yes, Ringo. I think that we should be putting on some kind of command equipment, and the armor should be rather thin for its particular weight class. Or maybe the design could have vulnerabilities that would be not befitting a mech of its stature, to represent the shell of Egg. Okay. So, or just put armor only in the cockpit at this rate. Well, I think that would be a very impractical design, and while I do think that it is incredibly fragile to only have a nude internal structure only mech, that might get a little dicey for practical reasons. It would definitely be difficult to handle in battle. It would explode quite quickly. So, for whatever reason, I currently have in my mind, the idea of putting artillery on this mech. Actually, we need to adjust the time and date. So let's go to the Dark Ages in the Battletech timeline. Let's go with Mixed Inner Sphere for now so that we can use clan equipment. Let's make this an experimental tech level mech. And to anyone not aware of tech base and tech level, basically there are two fundamental lines of technological development in the Battletech setting. One of them is Inner Sphere, which is, in essence, one could say, baseline humanity. And then there is Clan, which is also humans. Although many of them, they have a caste system, and many of the castes are genetically engineered or bred for specific purposes, such as being mech warriors, being aircraft pilots, or being trained to be scientists. It's a very stratified society with rituals and strange traditions that one from the Inner Sphere would not understand. And because of their isolation before their eventual interaction once again with the Inner Sphere, during what they call the clan invasion, the clans managed to develop a line of technology that is less creative than that in the Inner Sphere, but superior technologically, by significantly so. Weapons are simply lighter and more powerful, essentially only for the price of having more tactical value in the balancing system of the game. Inner Sphere is after the Battle of Tukayd, or is it those sleeper Inner Sphere merc outfits that are actually clanners? Well, Inner Sphere is essentially Battletech from its very conception. That uses Inner Sphere technology, and Clanners is Clan Tech essentially appears during the clan invasion. Although I think canonically some of the equipment available to the mercenary outfits that were Clanners in disguise, the Wolf's Dragoons primarily, they had Clan Tech available, although I think in very limited numbers. I do not have as much lore knowledge about the Wolf's Dragoons and the specifics of their equipment prior to the clan invasion, but they certainly used designs that were at the very least extinct in the Inner Sphere. So the clans were the only ones with access to the data about them, such as the Annihilator. And the Annihilator is a fantastic mech. Let me pull up the... Actually, the Annihilator, to some extent, is a glass cannon in some sense. It's less armored than most assault mechs, so it's not quite glass, but it's definitely on the frail side for a mech of its size. Let's find the browser once again. There we go. Alright, let me show everyone the Annihilator. Annihilator. Even though I pilot a torch ship, I cannot spell. That is one thing I do not have the cybernetics for, is modules which correct my thinking. I much prefer to keep it fully human. Okay, this is the Annihilator. As you can see, speak of the devil and you'll get eggs. This is also vaguely ovoid. Although it's a bit dopey looking, but trust me, when you're faced with this, it has enough firepower to really bring on the hurt. And of course, there are clan variants. Oh, here is the original Annihilator artwork from the Wolf's Dragoons. Look at him. He does not skip leg day. And those big feet for stability on soggy ground. Excellent design. And here is what it looks like in the modern parlance of Mech Warrior. As you can see, it looks significantly scarier, and it has lost a little bit of weight. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the window capture... Well, thank you guys. It is much appreciated. Yeah, the OBS is having a bit of a fit right now. But it's not technology without having some glitches. I've used up all of my my scuff coupons on these streams. So this is the modern rendition of the Annihilator. As you can see, it is quite handsome, and it has the quadruple autocannon 10s that it should have. And since I was not displaying it, allow me to show you the classic Annihilator. And there it is. It's an egg with a snake head on it. It's a Cyclopean Godzilla periscope hat on a handsome egg. A very good way of putting it, Ringo. And yes, it's a handsome egg that does not skip leg day. Fantastic. Although this ankle joint is somewhat concerning to me. Oh, I love these. I love these inspirational mechs. All right, let's put away the browser and go back. That neck. Yeah, the designers must have taken something from the giraffe. All right, I'm gonna have to hit that cut button just to get this to behave. Okay, the mouse is moving. I think we can now begin our design. So, as you can see, ovoid mechs can come in a variety of sizes. And typically command mechs are on the heavier side of things, although it is not unknown for battle mechs that are used in command and control to be of a lighter size. However, there is a limitation on certain equipment that can be put in lighter mechs, simply due to there not being enough tonnage. So I think we may actually do an artillery mech. If you think about it, artillery is a standoff weapon. In fact, in Battletech, if we look at the equipment, here we have, let's just use the baseline artillery missile here. The Arrow 4. This is actually incorrect here. The range is in map sheets, which is the basic unit of play surface in Battletech, represented by a 17 by 16 grid of hexagons. And you can put them together to form a bigger battlefield. And this is the range in those map sheets. So, the artillery weapons have a minimum range of 6 hexes, and for reference, weapons like the energy weapon called the medium laser, which has a maximum range of 9 and a medium range of 6, which is the minimum for artillery. That is considered to be a very baseline standard weapon. 9, especially in the later dates of gameplay, is considered to be a fairly short range, but we can consider the medium laser to be bread and butter. So there is some serious issues with using artillery as your primary weapon. But I think that goes into the spirit of Egg, in terms of this strategic thinker, but perhaps not always in the thick of it, which is exactly what an artillery mech would avoid, is getting into the middle. And the Thumper, Ringo, so basically we have available to us missile artillery, typically in the form of the Arrow 4 launcher, and then we have the various tube artillery. And tube artillery is your standard howitzers and cannons, basically pre-spaceflight technology, dating back to, the days of gunpowder and bombards. Anyone who has had experience in Age of Empires 2 can see how early gunpowder technology was used by human beings to destroy each other. So the Thumper is the smallest possible artillery piece available that can be mounted on a battle mech. Vehicles are typically the platform upon which artillery is mounted, but there is nothing wrong with mounting artillery on a mech, especially if you want to be thematic with it. So the Thumper is the smallest piece, and it does the least amount of damage, 15 artillery. And 15 artillery means that it does 15 damage to the center hex of whatever location it impacts, and it does, I believe, a different amount of damage to the hexes surrounding it, usually half, or it depends on the design. So I think the Thumper does 5 damage to the surrounding hexes. So it's fairly weak, considering typical battle mech weapons do 5 to 10 damage. Long Tom looks promising for a snipe and run. Ah yes, so snipe and run. So, wingmates, would you say that a glass cannon has to be fast? Or is glass cannon, is it enough to simply embody the two words, glass and cannon? I am not quite sure. I think that a glass cannon doesn't necessarily have to be fast, but at the same time, I think many glass cannon designs do use that for survivability. However, in many games where you have things that you could consider glass cannon designs, and to some extent I would consider many like side scrollers or shmups where you have a ship with a single point of health to be glass cannon. It's all about maneuverability. But here in Battletech, we do have combined arms, so this mech will not be operating alone, is the thing. Kind of like a tank destroyer. Well, Anborough, that is a interesting point you bring up. Actually, I can pull up some BattleTech tank destroyers. Let me pull up Brave once again. So the Hetzer. Hetzer is perhaps the quintessential tank destroyer in the BattleTech universe. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. It is named after, I would imagine, from the inspiration, and especially from the pig's head mantlet used here, the Hetzer of the Second World War of pre-spaceflight Terran history. And this thing is essentially an autocannon 20, which is the heaviest possible ballistic weapon, aside from the heavy Gauss rifle. I guess the heaviest autocannon available, mounted on a set of wheels. So we can call this a tank destroyer, and this would definitely be a glass cannon, because it is a very fragile piece of equipment, especially being a wheeled vehicle. A vehicle, if it has wheels, tends to take more critical damage by the rules of classic BattleTech. And this renders it incredibly easy to disable. So the Hetzer would be one example of a tank destroyer. I cannot think of one right now at the moment, another one. But yes. The air intake looking thing at the front makes me nervous. Oh yes, there is a grill. I hope that is not a radiator grill. A lot of the early BattleTech art actually has this slashing in it. I suppose it's the trend of using greebling to make something futuristic. Even though if we look at the actual historic Hetzer, and I certainly hope no naughty images pop up. Okay, good, there is no tank girl of the Hetzer quite yet. But if you look at the Hetzer, the original World War II Hetzer, it does not have a lot of greebling, and if anything, it's just a slab-sided war machine built off the oh goodness. Which Czechoslovak tank was the Hetzer built off of? I need to look this up now. Oh goodness, development history. Okay, the Panzerkampfwagen 38T, which was originally the LTVZ-38, okay, which was a Czechoslovak tank from Czeskomarowska Kolbendanek. Oh goodness, and they were only defunct at the turn of the 20th and 21st centuries. Quite fascinating. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to tank destroyer tangent aside. So, if we want a tank destroyer, we may want some kind of armor, to at least frontal armor, in order to protect this particular mech. However, well, feel free to chime in, wingmates, but I am still thinking about artillery, simply because it adds a strategic, or I suppose more thoughtful and plan ahead sort of element to this mech. I'm gonna quickly sketch something up. So this is why we're using a mixed inner sphere technology base that has access to clan equipment. Because if we use clan equipment here, we save 3 tons, so each Arrow 4 launcher will be 12 tons instead of 15. Gun coin, okay. The crowd is interested in guns. Let's see if we can slap a long tom on this particular mech. That will make it very glass cannony, and it will certainly limit its tactical flexibility, but I think it may be interesting. Oh goodness, so, okay. Oh, so for context, in the BattleTech rule system, if you are firing off board, basically if the artillery piece is not on the map, then there are actually rules for counter battery fire using the trajectory of the munition. Unfortunately, the rules don't account for guided munitions, which is sort of a gameplay conceit. But even if we use missiles, or if we use guns, the counter battery fire will still find its mark. However, I do think, yes, that having having a gun might be more interesting than having a pair of missile launchers. Although the variety of ammunition for a missile launcher, for the missile artillery, is significantly greater. And I think this is where it sort of gets into the think ahead and planning phase. In the sense that, let's just say, let's add a Arrow 4, and we go to the ammunition section now that we have this gun loaded. So we have the standard high explosive ammunition with 5 shots per ton. Keep bearing in mind that we only have 100 or so tons to play with at most. Then we have cluster ammo, which is essentially a top attack munition. We have Davy Crockett ammo, which is atomic weaponry. Then we have fuel air ammo, which is, as it sounds, it uses a thermobaric warhead to increase the blast radius of the missile. We have homing ammunition, which you can use in coordination with your teammates or other battlemechs on the field in order to directly target moving targets, such as battlemechs, by using a laser illuminator. Then we have ammunition that can illuminate the night. We have ammunition that has incendiary napalm in it. Laser inhibiting ammo is a very historical piece of technology. It is no longer used very often, but it's a decent piece of equipment if you're using it in the right position. Basically, any lasers that fire through the area affected by laser inhibiting ammunition, the laser damage will be reduced. That's how much detailed Battletech goes into. Then we have classic smoke ammo, and then we have minefield ammo. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of ammunition available for the Arrow 4. And this is not to say that the Long Tom does not also have incredible amounts of ammunition. It has the same cluster, it has a tracking warhead, it has an atomic warhead, it has mines, it has flechettes, which is infantry killer ammo. It can basically shred any infantry within a given target zone. Also has fuel air, illumination, smoke, and Long Tom. I suppose the only thing that the Long Tom in particular does not have is incendiary ammo, which is Inferno. But I think that'll be okay. You know what? I think let's try a gun for this design. Alright, let's stick the Long Tom on the mech somewhere. Laser inhibition sounds very clever to use in confined spaces like urban settings, or in the middle of bases. Yes, Ringo, I think that is an excellent point. If you have a static emplacement that is running lasers, for example, laser turrets, something very heavy, with, say, for example, 4 large lasers on it, which is essentially the top-of-the-line energy weapon, or I suppose the top-of-the-line laser available. And let's just go to it so that we have a reference. Large laser, here it is. It does 8 damage, which is very decent. Although the original large laser has fairly short range. If you can throw that smoke, that laser inhibiting smoke, in front of those turrets, you should be able to save your allies some damage. Now granted, it's not a very significant damage reduction effect, but it is worth something. So here we are at the design phase of the mech. So we're absolutely going to need to up our tonnage. Let's go straight to heavy, 75 tons, and let's keep everything else standard, although we will want inner sphere double heat sinks. And in Battletech, every weapon generates heat when shooting, and you need to get rid of that heat. So we will need to, in essence, make sure that we can sink enough heat that the mech does not overheat, causing a failure. Oh goodness! We have a double raid! Oh my goodness! Time on target attack! Oh, Claudia and Roman, your tactical acumen is fantastic! Wingmates, protect the ship! We do not have enough autocannon ammunition to hold off all of these raiders. Claudia, Roman, how are you this evening? If I recall dropping in on your streams briefly, there was some trine going on? Or did I drop in at the wrong time and get incorrect data? Brain empty. Very understandable. Yeah, I will fully... Oh, okay, you were playing Trine. Oh, Headless, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hurt you this way. Yeah, disclosure to anyone joining us. Welcome to the convoy. Thank you for the assault, but we are doing some fairly obscure design here. We are designing a Battlemech for Egg, our a fellow VTuber. Let me plug that Twitter really quick. I must. This is my obligation. Unity comes first. There we go. There we go. We are designing a Battlemech in the spirit of Egg, and including Egg's design parameters, which is primarily glass cannon. How bad was heat management in MechWarrior 3 compared to the entirety of the MechWarrior 4 series? Due to being able to customize your mech, it was very it's about average, I would say. MechWarrior 4 had decent heat management. Of course, it always depends on your design. The more heat sinks you slap on, the better off you are in terms of your ability to sink weapons heat. So right now, Egg is becoming a 75-ton bipedal war machine. Okay. Do we want this particular egg-shaped mech to have... Is there an artillery variant of the Mackie? Something in me thinks there is. Let's pull up the wiki. To the browser we go. Ahoy! Alrighty, here we go. We were looking up something a little bit different there. Let's see, Mackie. Oh, this is another egg-shaped mech. Perfect. Good advice, Attenborough. So, for anyone joining us, we've been looking up egg-shaped mechs because those are inspiring to our design phase here. And this little buddy right here is the first Battlemech ever created, historically wise, in the Battletech universe, the Mackie, a 100-ton beast of steel Myanmar and an angry pilot. Uh-oh, I did it again. Thank you. And yes, the Mackie is adorable. Look at his little cockpit here. Look at his little spotlight. Hello, Alaric. The stream has been going a little slow simply because I am still brainstorming the best way to do Egg, but we are about to get down to the nitty-gritty of slapping parts onto this bad boy. Let's see here. Headless, you had no idea. You never figured out how to use kinetic weapons on mechs and only used lasers, PPC, and missiles. Headless, kinetics are definitely difficult to use in MechWarrior 3. I will say that. They have very limited ammo. They have, unless you have a targeting computer, they're difficult to lead with. And they, in general, they're difficult to use in campaign when you don't have ammo reloads. Unless you bring your mobile field bases with you all the time. Mackie love! Yes, Mackie love. And the crotch gun is definitely a hallmark of the Mackie. Oh, that is the wrong table. Let's see if there's an artillery variant of the Mackie. No, it does not look like there's a canonical artillery variant of the Mackie, but I think this design is definitely what I am looking at for Egg. Let's see here. And just for the audience, now that we have some more folks joining our convoy, we also have the Urban Mech. Here we go. This is another Egg on legs. There's a lot of them in Battletech. Then we have the Flashman. Here is the Flashman. Also very, very cute, although not as popular as the Mackie. And then we have the Stalker. The Stalker Ocker. There it is. It's a blimp egg on legs with very dopey little arms. Okay. So, now that we know that there's no artillery Mackie, let's turn off the browser, put that away, and go back to our design phase. So, we are equipping our lovely ovoid friend here with an artillery cannon called the Long Tom, which weighs 30 tons! For your reference, the typical light mech, which is essentially the smallest usable battle mech that can be fielded without being too fragile, weighs 30 tons. So this artillery piece is essentially a light mech. So we need to be able to fit the long tom into the components of this mech. Unfortunately, if we try this... Oh, let me try this again. The long tom takes up 30 crits. We literally cannot fit it here. So we are going to have to... So Battlemech typically comes within its arms with components that are the shoulder, upper arm, lower arm, and hand, much like a human being. We're going to rip those out, because a mech can survive without... Well, a human can too, although it would be most inconvenient to only have an upper arm. Alright, let's see if we can fit this long tom onto here. Oh goodness, the long tom is just simply not behaving. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think we may have to use the sniper. We may have to use the sniper. The long tom literally cannot fit on this design. There is a cannon variant, and that's C-A-N-O-N, cannon, not with the double N. Let's look at artillery weapons. We're gonna have to use the sniper, which is far smaller. There we go. Here's the sniper. There we go. That actually fits, as indicated by these reds. Long Tom is the name of a World War II field gun too, if memory serves. Yes, Alaric, correct. There is a the Long Tom of the Second World War's United States Army. Let's see, what was that particular model number? Let's see here. Long Tom. Just so that someone could look it up if they would so please. The 155mm gun M1 Long Tom. So... there we go. Unfortunately, as with many pieces, as with many G codes or G numbers or model numbers of the Second World War United States military, it's an M1. There are far too many M1s. M1 Garand, M1 Carbine, missing out some more M's, but the model numbers are unfortunately used in the same number applies to far too many pieces of equipment, unfortunately. Okay, so we have lost a lot of equipment space by slapping a sniper onto this mech. So, let us continue with the design. So if this is going to be a mech, that stands off. Everything can have a first model variant. Not everything gets to the 15th or 40th development after all. Yes, that is very true, Alaric. So in that early era of G codes, there certainly was a plethora of Model 1s. That is a very good point. Okay, so let's continue on with the design. Oh, and to anyone watching now, we will actually move on to doing art of this mech when we are completed with it. But first we must do the nitty-gritty and actually piece it together. So, let's take a look at our gear here. So we have made it move 4-6, which is 4 hexes of movement on the Battletech board game tabletop, walking speed, and 6 hexes that it could run. And this is about average for the mechs and Battletech. So let's keep it at that. We definitely don't want this super slow. To make it a command mech, I think we can add a... So we already have a mech with a command console. And a command console is basically the normal Battlemech cockpit, but with a seat behind it for a commander. However, we have done this before, so let's do something a little different. Let's actually make this a C3 support mech. And what C3 is it is an electronic communication system that can allow for mechs to coordinate their fire in a very precise manner. And you need a master computer in order to run a C3 network. And I believe C3 stands for, in this case, Command, Communications, and Control. It is a fairly typical military acronym, and you can have C2, you can have C1, you can have even more different parts of this acronym, but it's primarily Command, Control, and Communications. So this, on the tabletop, actually allows you to use scouts, or mechs in front of other mechs, to reduce the effective range. And it's a mechanic best explained in-game, so I won't get too far into it. But needless to say, it's a very powerful system. So let's slap on a C3 computer. And it takes up quite a bit of tonnage, which I think is more than okay. This is a standoff mech. We are not going to the fray with it. Especially, we should start thinking about how much armor we're going to put on it. So, on a 75-ton mech, the maximum amount of armor is 14.5 tons. So that is a significant fraction of its weight would be armor. And if we look at this table right here, where my mouse is bouncing around, this is a table indicating the breakdown of what weighs how much on this mech. As you can see, the very core, the very innards of this mech weigh 7.5 tons. The engine, which powers both energy weapons and the myomer, which is an electroactuated, I suppose, fiber that forms the muscles of a Battlemech. The engine powers that. That weighs 19 tons. We have a gyroscope to keep it upright, which is used in conjunction with a computer control system. And of course, here we have other parts, along with the equipment that we've already slapped into it. So, this is the maximum armor. We want this to have less armor than we would normally expect for its particular class weight. So, but we don't want it to be too thin. So let's see what happens when we bring it down to 11 tons of armor. Let's do that. Let's see. Okay, it is definitely losing its integrity. This is a very fragile mech for its weight. I don't like that, but we are going with an egg design here. Let's stick with this particular tonnage for now, and then we can play around with the gear once again. So, we have our sniper cannon. Let's give it ammo before we forget. So, we need basic sniper ammo. Let's add at least... okay, so the nice thing about the sniper as opposed to some of the heavier artillery weapons is each ton gives you 10 shots. Now, a typical Battletech game will only last anywhere from 10 to at most 20 rounds, simply because at a certain point you give up. The game takes quite a bit of time to do, especially if you're playing with actual pen and paper. So we have at least 10 shots for the cannon itself, but I think we need some variety. And one of the very important things is to have guided munitions, and I think we can use some Copperhead ammo. And Copperhead is a name of a historical artillery round in the United States military, I believe in around the... Oh, when did development start? I think it was early 80s, or perhaps late, or perhaps the 70s of the 1970s when the Copperhead artillery round was developed. And this is an homage to that particular guided artillery round. If chat knows better than I, please feel free to correct with the date of the historical Copperhead's development. So, let's have at least 4 different ammo types. And the nice thing about Battletech is before you enter the scenario, you can adjust the ammunition. But I think, you know what, let's have 5 tons of ammo, and let's not actually select them preemptively. The battlefield commander will be able to pick which ammunition they use. So let's put this ammunition somewhere on this mech. Okay, so one of the things about Battletech in the rules is that ammunition explodes when it is hit. And when ammunition explodes, like say for example you're out of armor and you get hit internally beneath the armor in a mech, and you have this sniper ammunition here. In essence, if your left torso has no armor and is hit here, and you manage to be unlucky enough to roll a critical hit, and I'm sure most of you who have played a video game are familiar with the luck and unluck of rolling a critical hit. Well, if that happens, which is more than a 50% chance, on a roll of 2d6, which is 2 6-sided dice rolled and the results combined together, you need to roll an 8 or above to have a critical hit when you are the attacker in the board game. And in this case, there's a good chance that one of these slots will be critted, and that slot could be the sniper ammo. And if you have even remotely a full amount, this ammunition detonates, and it essentially destroys your parts from the inside, as an ammo explosion should. You will not have your normal armor protecting your innards, and all the damage will go straight to the core of your mech, in essence, leading to an untimely death. So what we will use is case, and case is cellular ammunition storage, and it's basically blowout panels and reinforced ammo bins that are used to protect a Battlemech from ammunition cook-off. Unfortunately, the pilot will always be grievously injured, and the mech will take some damage, but at the very least, case will prevent your mech from being completely annihilated. For example, if we had a normal case here, and the ammo went off here, this left torso would blow off, but the damage would be stopped at the left torso. It would not travel to the center torso. So we're actually going to use a more advanced version called Case 2. And, oh no, you know what? Egg is fragile. Egg is fragile. I should think about that. We want standard case, but Case 2, in essence, reduces the damage. Instead of a torso being blown off, only the rear armor is blown off, and then the innards take 1 more point of critical damage, potentially. So let's use standard case. Egg is fragile. Somebody miscalculated how much armor was needed. Oh. And speaking of fragility. So, I mentioned structure. So if you look right here in this tab, there is the structure of the mech. This is, for probably the best simile metaphor, is that this is the bones of the Battlemech. The Battlemechs are designed with an endoskeleton as opposed to an exoskeleton, in order to provide the proper rigidity needed to carry the tonnage of equipment on board. And so, this structure has many different designs, and the composition is up to the era in question and to the lore of Battletech. But there is there is standard, there is reinforced, which means it takes twice as much damage to destroy the internal structure. And, get this, there is composite. And composite structure does not take up any more room. Like, for example, let's try endosteel. And you see all of these blue criticals labeled endosteel that have appeared on our layout? These criticals are essentially what you pay for having lighter internal structure, because endosteel weighs slightly less than standard structure. But the trade-off is that it's bulkier, so you have less room for equipment. And let's take a look here. Structure. When we use composite, this structure has no criticals, but it weighs far less. So let's take a look at internal structure. It only weighs 4 tons, as opposed to the standard 7.5 tons. Rounding is not in our favor here. But I think it is very much in line with Egg that this is fragile, because composite structure, when it is damaged in the game, it takes double damage. Essentially, you're using more fragile materials to save on weight and bulk, but unfortunately, it results in your mech being way more frail. So I think we are doing well here. Egg is certainly a fragile thing you want to keep away from the front lines. Okay. So now that we've determined that our little friend here suffers from brittle bone disease, do we want to add any enhancements? No, we do not. Enhancements are things that are related to the musculature of the Battlemech, and they typically add either speed or strength, although we may want to add that at some point. Eggs do roll fast if you give them a good flick. So I think maybe this egg needs to go quickly to escape predicaments in which it cannot survive on its own merits. Oh, you know what? We can also... I was thinking of making the gyroscope lighter in order to save on equipment weight, but making it bigger, thus more fragile to critical hits. So if you look right here, the sandwiched between two halves of the engine on this mech is a gyroscope. And the gyro is in essence a... It is what it says. It's a gyroscope. It keeps the mech upright. But we can also have an extra light gyroscope. And the rule in Battletech is generally if something is extra light, it is bulkier. Is there any way we could add smoke dischargers too? Yes, we certainly can. So in other equipment, we can find vehicular grenade launchers. And let me find them. Or maybe it's actually titled something different here. Let me look for GGG. It might be under ballistic weapons, however. 1 second, please. It may be under ballistics. Yes, okay, so the vehicular grenade launchers have a range of 1, but essentially it's a one-shot weapon system that can have different types of ammunition, including fragmentation and smoke, and that would be the smoke discharger. However, it does take up 1/2 of a ton, which is an incredible amount of weight. I don't like that, and the typical meta of the game, and I think that Egg, from a design perspective, would be aware of the meta, since I think Egg is, to a great extent, aware of it. And actually, this brings us into close-range combat. So this Egg mech has issues with close-range combat due to being an artillery command mech. So let's take a look at missile weapons, and here we have a missile rack called the Short-Range Missile System. And essentially, it has a range of 369, which is very short-ranged, but it does not have a minimum range, and it deals a pretty good amount of damage. So I think... So the SRM also has the advantage of being able to use... Let's add it here, and let's take a look at the ammo. The SRM has this enormous amount of ammunition that it can use. It can use standard explosive ammo. It can use ammunition that does more damage but has no guidance. It can use Attenborough. This is to your point. It can use smoke ammunition in order to create a fairly dense cloud of defensive smoke. And it can also use some other very interesting pieces of equipment here. So I think for close-in defense, we can actually add an SRM-6. Now that absolutely is eating into our tonnage, and I think we may actually use clan weaponry for the SRM-6. Because Egg is already fairly poorly armed for close-range combat, and this goes back to my statement about clan technology. It is simply superior. So if we look at the statistics here for the short-range missile 6 rack from the all technology base, which is to say Inner Sphere, it weighs 3 tons. If we look at the clan one, it literally weighs half as much. And if we look at the crits, it takes up only 1 crit as opposed to the Inner Sphere's 2. So literally we get twice the firepower for the same tonnage. However, we do have more heat. So let's throw on some SRM-6 racks into the left hand of this Egg. And we will of course require both standard munitions and smoke munitions. So let's go to smoke munition. We've added 1 ton of that. And we want the clan munition, although technically they are interchangeable. So let's go to clan smoke ammo. There we go. And clan standard. SRM-6 standard munitions. There it is. There it is. So now we only have 1 ton left to play with. This is definitely a problem. And this is after we have installed an extra light gyroscope. So let's continue making Egg even more fragile. The smoke would probably help getaways if we're going with the rolling egg interpretation. I agree, Attenborough. I think that is definitely what I'm going for. I'm going with a shoot and scoot artillery Egg who is meant to stay off the field and provide a tactical computer interface for his allies, which is what I imagine Egg is doing when guiding the warriors under his command during grand strategy. No one is unless it's Crusader Kings, then of course the character is in the thick of it. But Vicky 2 or Victoria 2 definitely has a little more of a hands-off approach, at least from what I have seen. Feel free to correct me, please. Okay, so let's lighten up the engine here. Let's make the engine a light. And this drops the tonnage by a little bit more, but let's take a look at the critical slot. It once again makes the engine beefier. It's simply thicker and it has more vulnerability to being shot at. So let's slap the sniper back in. Oh goodness, this is a lot of criticals filled in. They are semi-important in Imperator, I think. This is in regards to your personal commander, Gale. Also, welcome to the convoy. Are you doing well today? Okay, so we are running into an issue where our sniper ammo does not fit all the way here, along with the C3 master computer and the case. So, this is something that is very scary, but we are going to put the sniper ammo, and don't tell Egg we're doing this. We're gonna put the sniper ammo in the head, near the cockpit. Now, this is not as crazy as it sounds, because the head on the table that you use in order to target body parts on a Battlemech in the tabletop is only a 1 in 36 chance of being hit, which is very low. And also you have to get past the armor on the head and roll a crit and be lucky enough to hit the ammunition while also simultaneously not hitting the cockpit. They have stats and traits like Crusader Kings when they are leading armies. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, so there is a character. Well, I suppose that is sort of this projection. An Egg does have stats here. He is very capable at long-range support for his allies, and he has the ability to unify. This is the Unity machine, thanks to the master computer here. Okay, so we have this ammo in the cockpit. Oh goodness. I feel like equipping this mech with at least one energy weapon. And energy weapons, the primary advantage is they do not run out of ammunition, generally speaking. There is an exception in the plasma cannon, which is technically considered an energy weapon, albeit it actually uses this special foam that it plasmifies into, I suppose, just a plasmatorioid and shoots it at an enemy. It does additional heat damage in addition to the standard energy weapon damage. So it's a very unique weapon in the Battletech setting. I will probably use this on another design, especially if a VTuber Battlemech is very good at killing infantry. Like they're Berserker who uses fire and flame to cleanse the battlefield. I think that would be very fitting for them to mount plasma rifles. So we definitely want an energy weapon, and we have approximately 5.5 tons to play with, which I would actually like to dedicate to some more command equipment additionally. So let's throw on a very light, almost afterthought type of energy weapon. Let's throw on a... an ER medium laser. This is the bread and butter defensive energy weapon. We're not going to use the clan variant in this case. For whatever reason, the designers decided that, gee, if we're buying clan equipment, let's just buy the missile racks and save on the energy weapons. But it has a range of up to 12, and it does 5 damage for 5 heat. It's a fairly balanced weapon, and it is a staple of a mech warrior's repertoire. Oh goodness, okay. Oh, the battle value of this mech, which is in essence its combat capability right now, is 10,090, which is very low. That sort of speaks to the fragility of this particular design. Okay. Oh goodness, this is very fragile. Can we make it any more fragile? Well, we can add quirks, but that will have to come later, because quirks are in essence this sort of, I suppose, way of giving flavor to mechs that is not possible to do in the construction rules. And the construction rules is this. It's the little boxes and mathematics behind building a battle mech. So we still have some tonnage left. Let's take a look at some of the other equipment that we could use. Oh, you know what? How about this, wingmates? Stealth egg. I think I have never seen a stealthy egg mech. A shoot and scoot stealth egg mech. So for that we will need... Wait, no. I've misspoken. You see, the issue with stealth is that it blocks C3 computer transmission. So this egg has to either be stealth, or it has to be a command mech. It really cannot do both unless it drops its ability to communicate with its allies for its stealth coverage. I don't know. Wingmates, feel free to let your opinions be known. But as much as I love the idea of Invisa egg, okay, I'll have to think on that. either way, we should add a electronic warfare system to this. So we'll add a Guardian ECM suite, which is essentially a electronics countermeasure system. And because it doesn't matter, we'll put it in the foot. Oh, and we are getting awful hot. Let's add one more heatsink. Actually, no, that's okay. We can have a little bit of heat issues here. Yes. Grand Strategy Gamer, Game Tuber, GSG Tubers, Command Mech is already a Command Mech to a certain extent, but it does not have a C3 master computer. And it does have a command console, though, however. And it has a sniper role. Although this mech does have a literal sniper gun on it, that sniper is, alas, a little bit different. It is much harder to use. It's not a pinpoint weapon. It's an area of effect weapon. So, and it's okay to have more than one commander, because there will be at least two sides to this particular combat. So it's completely acceptable to have a commander and a sub-commander, or simply commanders for both of the sides. Artillery, yes. The sniper cannon is an artillery piece. So this is an artillery command mech. The important thing is the C3 master computer, to be honest. It really links together. So I think it really links together many other mechs in a very functional way. So I think we will have to add C3 slaves, which is the recipient computer of the C3 master. So we have a Guardian ECM suite in order to protect the communication system from being jammed by enemy jamming systems. Hello, Niwa. Yes, we are doing some Battlemech design. Ah, good. I do not know what time it is for you. Oh, of course. I never ask for participation. It is always appreciated. Feel free to comment whenever you want, but also feel free to just watch along and listen. And I will be doing some art for this mech once we are done building it. 10 p.m. Impressive wake-up time. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. We could add spikes. I don't think Egg has spikes. He is the antithesis of spikes. What other kind of equipment can we add here that is highly useful? Sleep reps, please. Oh, goodness. Ooh, we can add an anti-missile system. That would be interesting. So an anti-missile system is essentially a small machine gun that protects a mech from incoming missile fire. And I think this is very befitting of a command mech. Ooh, yes, failure of alarms is a very unfortunate thing. I'm sorry to hear that has struck you. Ugh. So let's add an anti-missile system. This mech is not optimally designed, but I really am loving the flavor in this egg. This is a free-range egg where the yolk is absolutely orange like the blazing sun. This egg is packed with flavor. This egg is fragile, but it's tasty, and we can make a beautiful omelet. All right. Feeling younger in your mind. Well, that is not necessarily a bad thing, at least in my line of thinking. So we've added an anti-missile system, and now we will need ammunition. So let's see, ammunition. We will need anti-missile system ammo. There we go. Okay, this mech is primed to crack. It has so much ammunition, and it has so little protection for its armor and for its ammunition reserves. Oh my goodness. And the battle value has only climbed to that of a light mech. Oh, crack. Yes, crack indeed. And whoever designed this was on crack. That we can also perhaps say. Oh, this design is dismally fragile. but I'm enjoying it. So we have 2.5 tons left to play with, and we have 3 critical slots left over. So what can we do in this situation? That would also make this mech a little more survivable. So we have a way of creating smoke to protect us. We have a long-range standoff weapon with plenty of munitions. We have a basic defensive laser. Oh, hi, Egg! How are you doing today? You coming in from Scribblenauts, if I recall correctly? And perhaps your nose was itching, or you fell to the evil eye, because we were certainly talking about you quite a bit. We are designing your current mech, and let's see if you have any input on this design. All right, let's see. Armor is pretty frail for its tonnage. Oh, fantastic! You beat it. Well, congratulations. My potchies go out to you. Was it a enjoyable experience? I've never had a chance to actually play that particular game myself. It was not in my, I suppose, field of genres when I had more ample opportunities to play those simulations. And you're gonna make tubas in it. Excellent. Well, one tuba for another. We are making you right now. Okay. So, Egg, right now we have you build as a 75 out of a maximum 100 ton possible mech, with fairly weak armor for its weight class, and with a... Oh, let's see here. Very enjoyable, though it does take being in the right mind of creativity. Yes, very, very understandable. You have to have some spark in you at the moment in order to play some of those kinds of games, or to have the ability to do the right kind of art. Well, my armor is eggshell, so fitting that it's weak. Okay, perfect. We have also made you incredibly weak in the sense of, I suppose, game meta, in that you have a large engine, which means that when you lose parts of your mech, for example, your right torso, you will run very hot, and you will in essence be near death's door. And you also have an internal structure that is composite, which is essentially taking the standard metal skeleton of a mech and making it out of plastic because it's light and compact. But that stuff breaks very quickly. So you have bones of plastic and a skin of paper. Although you are very capable as a command mech because you have a C3 master computer, which is an excellent piece of technology. And we have given you smoke missiles for short-range defense, and we also have an anti-missile system for knocking out any inbound long-range missiles that may be attempting to crack your shell. So that's kind of you swatting away any sort of attackers. Let's see here. So that's the nice Yoki center. Yeah, that is your wonderful Yoki center. And much like a yoke, if your ammunition, which is close to your Yoki center, is hit, you are going to crack right open. Because this is a lot of ammo, and boy, it does a lot of damage when it goes up in smoke. Okay, I think this design is getting close to its terminus. But I'm digging it. I am enjoying it. Let's add either weapons or some more equipment. I think that perhaps we can add a supercharger to this mech. So, Egg, would you say that if danger arises that is beyond your shell's ability to protect you, would you want to quickly roll away the way an egg would? Or would you want to stand and fight? I do have the equipment for you to at least protect yourself from sight, to hide away as if you were an egg in, say, for example, a swan's nest, tucked away in the reeds next to a beautiful pond with the sunlight reflecting. Guru guru umawaru away. Okay, all right, let's give you a supercharger. So a supercharger, and that perfectly fills up our tonnage. So a supercharger is basically a it's a device that removes the safety limiters on your engine and allows you to move a little bit faster for a short amount of time. But if you run out of luck, that may straight up damage your engine. Yes, spinning out indeed. If your supercharger rolls a critical failure on its engagement, you will spin out, and by that I mean your engine's gonna take a crit, and you will not like it. So unfortunately, we have had to move 1 ton of ammunition into the leg. I don't like this at all. So let's actually... I also don't want to pack your... I do not want to pack your left arm with even more munitions. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. This is becoming a decision here. We've already put some in your cockpit, basically. There's a ton of ammunition right next to your cockpit, which is rather scary, I must say. My oh my. You know what? I'm going to replace this ER medium laser with a clan variant, so it does more damage. We're using clan weapons. Let's just go all the way with clan energy in addition to the clan missiles. While we are using cheap inner sphere components, because that's the best way to build an egg, we are using better weapons for our close-in sting. No. Let's not go that far. Let's use an ER medium inner sphere. There we go. Inner sphere ER medium. Let's put that back. Put it back. Put it back, or so help me. Alright, this is horrifically frail. I am terrified of this design. Perfect. Alright, let's take a look at the preview. So, we need a name. So, usually I just call them what they are, but Wingmates and Egg. Do you have any names for this particular mech that you would like to see? Hopefully featuring an egg pun. Executor, I think, is a little too obvious. There's always Executioner. There is an Executioner Battlemech, which is a clan. Is it an assault or a heavy? I forget. I think it's an assault. And let's see, what other fun? Yes, there is a Kraken. Oh yes. Kelly Kraken, the mystery from the deep. Oh, Egg, you're putting your trust in me. Okay. So let's see. So we have just plain Egg. You have Executioner. Executor. No. Let's move the egg into. Let's move the X/egg/G sound into the middle. Dominatrix. No. This is not a no. Not that. Goodness. Oh, where is Alaric's poetic mind? When I need it. The big crack. The Excelsior. Oh, allow me to recover. My sides have entered orbit. So Egg, when you said right there, is that a reference to a name that you found particularly interesting? Or is that pointing out that Alaric is right there? Oh, oh, these names are fantastic. Excellent. Let's see. Okay, there's also yolk. There's also omelette. Omnilet? No. That's not very good. Ovo, which is Latin for egg, or ovum for singular. Ooh. Goodness. This is becoming difficult. Okay, you know what? Let's throw up a poll. I have never done a poll before, and I think this is as good an opportunity of any to create a poll. Let's try this. Okay, manage poll, create a new poll. Excelsior one step further. As eggshells sure. Being punny on the spot is hard, which is why I left it to you. Oh, I see, Egg. I see. Well, I am currently oh, I can't even be punny with this. Well, I'm overwhelmed by things going on. Egg Mech name. Okay, so in the running we have egg shell eggshell Seor. We have the big crack. Oh, that's also like the if that was a Big O reference, that went over my head until just now. The big crack. Big crack. All right. What else did we have in the list here? Let me add something to the running from my participation. Since we have some user entries. Ah, okay. I must do this. I must do this. Part of being a mech designer is also coming up with names. I'm not gonna put. Okay, I'll put it. I'll put Executrix just for Executrix as a reference to the Dune franchise or the Dune RTS franchise. Oh, the Big Zam. Okay, see, we're throwing references over each other's heads like grenades, and luckily they are missing, or perhaps unluckily. But it's good. We are thinking creatively. All right, what else is very eggy? Yolk. Yolksmeister? No. Yolk sounds like. Ah. Oh my. I think I've been defeated. All of the egg puns are becoming incredibly rudimentary in my mind. All right, well let's try out this poll. Let's go for 1 minute. Humpty Dumpty. Hello, why not? Humpty Dumpty. Let's see here. What can we do with Humpty Dumpty? Thank you so much for the kernel there. So Humpty Dumpty on its own is a pretty extreme. Yolkai on the battlefield. All right, let's put Yolkai in the poll. Okay. Yolkai. Let's throw extreme in there just because. Oh, we are running out of room, and I need to make the contribution with Humpty Dumpty. Big Dumpty. Let's see, Dumpty. Or Humpty. No, we're gonna use Dumpty. While Humpty is an excellent musician, I think it can be taken out of context, unfortunately, considering the guttural state of many minds in the gutter as opposed to a guttural noise. I know that's incorrect. Ah. Let's see. Dumpty. I am fresh out of ideas. Big Dumpty it is. Dumpty. All right. I apologize about that taking a little while. I'm going to set the poll duration to 2 minutes. Let's see if this works. Oh, service error. Try again in a moment. Service error. Try again in a moment. Twitch. Honey, please don't do this to me. I've put in so much effort for this poll. And to betray me like that? Ah, me oh my, that is dismal. That is dismal. Do I have to make a poll? No, no, no. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have to make a judgment here, and I apologize. But I think... Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, I could put up a poll. Let's do a poll. I would feel remiss if I took contributions and didn't allow for a vote. Poll. How do we engage poll? Let's see here. Oh, poll.me. Okay, let's create a poll. All right, here we go. Megamek name. Type poll answer option in here. Eggshell. Sealor. Big crack. There we go. Egg. Secu. Tricks. Yolkai. And Big Dumpty. And allow me to check the chat very quickly to see if anyone has contributed something. Thank you for your patience, wingmates. It is greatly appreciated. We will get to the art very shortly. Let's see here. Enable live discussion. Let's not. Sometimes that gets a little bit spicy. Let's see here. Different color for each answer. Yes, please. Allow multiple choices. No. Publicly show results right away. Let's make this a private one. And let's allow for user-added answers. And let's create that poll. Okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience, wingmates. Here is the poll. And if you have other sites that you would like to post this on, such as Twitter or what have you right now, feel free to do that. And actually, I will let it run for quite a bit of time. And then at the very end is when we will save this mech with the final name voted. Egg, I hope you're okay with this particular form of direct democracy, and that it is Ooh, the votes are coming in. Excellent. No complaints. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh, why did I add user options? Somebody will put something naughty. Disclaimer to anyone clicking the poll. If anyone has added a naughty option with some bad words, I apologize in advance. That is out of my control now, and I have made a little mistake with that. But hopefully, people will behave themselves, although it's the internet, we never know. So, we will wait the model for later. Let's see. We can add some fluff. We can add some fluff later. Let's get to the art. Why is there a Black Knight as the art here? This is not the correct mech. Okay, well that's fine. So, what we have ended up with is a 75-ton Battlemech that costs 21 million C-bills, and a C-bill is worth more than $1 in 21st century Terran currency. Megamek jank, please understand. Yes, this is why we love Megamek. It's Java, it's jank, and it's beautiful, and the community keeps it alive. So your movement is 4-6, so you can walk 4 hexes, and you can run 6, and then if you really want to go into over easy drive, you can go up to 8 hexes in 1 turn. You have just enough heat sinks to fire your sniper, but you will slowly overheat, so you must be very careful. You're running a extra light gyro, which saves us on weight, but is rather vulnerable to criticals. You have a pretty poor armor amount, 176 points out of a possible 231. And considering the distribution of armor, this is really not very good. This is actually a pretty dismal armor layout. Let's see here. You have a sniper artillery piece. You have a C3 master computer, which will make you an excellent team player. You have twin SRM6 racks, which you can use for close-in defense, where your cannon is useless. And it will also allow you to deploy smoke in order to create a shell of darkness around you. And you have an anti-missile system to keep away the haters, or the haters' missiles at least. And you have a small ER medium laser just as a pea shooter to protect you when things get a little bit too close. Yeah. I am so sorry. I apologize to anyone who I've hurt with those phrases I've used. And you have an ECM suite to protect your ability in order to communicate with your allies. And of course, the supercharger. I think this is a fairly fragile but flavorful mech. You're an excellent egg dish, Egg. I am digging this. Alright, let's see what the poll is. What's happening with that? Ooh, okay. The results are coming in. The results are coming in. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me, or if anyone missed this, just in case, here's the poll again. Alright. So, let's hide Megamek Lab for now, for the time being. And let's move on to Krita. Let's see if the game capture does not give me conniptions this time around. I think it won't. There we go. Can everyone see Krita here? Hi. If you can see a hi, then everything is working as it should. Oh goodness, I've been talking for quite a bit. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Let me take a little sippy here. Ah, yes, fantastic. And now the injectors in my pickle tank, as many of you call it now, are providing my body with some hydration through the use of the injectors built into my digestive system. All right, here we go. Brrr. Perfect. So, let's start with some very rough sketches. And we are using a 16:9 ratio canvas. A standard or full HD. What are you drinking, bud? Just regular H2O? Well, yes, within my simulation, that is exactly what I am drinking. The flavor of water is not very good in simulations sometimes. They just can't quite get that mineral component that I so enjoy out of some waters. So I've tuned the parameters as best I could, but unfortunately it's still not as not what I want it to be. Spacer turned himself into a pickle. Funniest thing I've ever heard. Gale, cheeky. If only I had a way of making my eyes as red as yours can turn. That would show my displeasure with these references. Nah, I'm kidding. Thank you. The flavor of lack of flavor must be tricky. Yes, Egg, indeed it is. It's a certain je ne sais quoi that has not been pinned down in the over 1,000 years that these simulations have been under development. It is a very tricky thing. And it seems like the way people perceive flavor in simulations does vary. Okay, so let us, for an instant, imagine an egg. That is a very poorly drawn egg, but it's an egg. Egg. This is the shape of an egg. This is the form of an egg. This is the power of an egg. And we must turn this egg into a powerful Battlemech. The arrangements we have seen are vertical egg. We have seen upside down egg. We have seen horizontal blimp egg. That looks more like a knife, like an obsidian bladed edge here. Yes, get some cord wrapping here so we don't cut ourselves. There we go. An obsidian dagger. And the egg has a hole in it. Yeah, there we go. The yolk won't leak out now. Round egg. Yes, there are species with round eggs. We could also do tadpole eggs. There we go. Some tadpole eggs. We can do spider eggs. Doesn't everyone love spider eggs? That's all we're going to do now. We're just going to draw spider eggs. Because spiders are wonderful things. Okay, so we have many different shapes that we can work with. The yolk folded 1,000 times so that it can cut through tanks. Halbernact, I like that. It's a the yolk egg. Okay. So I still think that the classic big endian and little endian problem is fundamental to the idea of egg in the classic conceptualization in a human being's mind of what an egg is, due to the domestication of the jungle fowl into the chicken. And I think simply because of the cultural implications, the egg, while round is a powerful thing, I think this is what we want, and unfortunately this will have to be set aside for another time. So, what arrangement do we want to do? So this is an artillery mech, so we have a sniper tube that we need to project out of it somehow. Don't worry, lads. I have already perfected mech design. Allow me to introduce the Alfarmed. Let's take a look at this. Oh my goodness, that is a bright color. And it has some interesting components to it. Yes, this is a very, very classic mech design. Unfortunately, it is going over my head as to what series this is from. Very green pants. Oh goodness, I am so sorry. Is that an avatar of your own? Virtua On. Ah, Voot, that takes me back. Virtua On. 1 second, please. Allow me to edify myself. Virtua On. Oh, interesting. Oh, there's like a battle on top of a carrier in these screenshots. Okay, that looks like a very interesting mech shooter. Okay. I'll have to return to that later. So we have our sniper artillery piece that we are going to have to mount on this egg. We also have a short-range missile launcher with 6 missiles in it, along with a second one. We can actually arrange these missile launchers any way we want. Circularly, we can arrange them in lines. There's many ways to do missile launchers. The game plays differently from most mech games. It uses fighting game inputs. Oh, that is fascinating. I have not seen anything like that before. Ugh, Twitch is taking a dump. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, good luck with your video feed, Niwa. I hope everything goes okay, and a good night to you. Thank you for stopping by for as long as you could. So we have our missile boxes. The small laser can just be a tube, or the medium laser can just be a tube. We have an anti-missile system, which is typically something akin to a turret. I'm gonna make this brush a little bit smaller. Shoulder-based rocket launchers. Yes, shoulder-based rocket launchers are very nice, but unfortunately, this particular design is actually using an arm-mounted rocket launcher, so we definitely want to be somewhat canonical with it. Although in BattleTech, technically arms can be... Oh, this is... Round mech is floating bot like EDE. Oh yes. EDE is an excellent design. Very, very adorable. I do like its predecessor, the Mr. Handy from Fallout 1 and 2. It has a slightly different design. Oh, EDE, oh goodness, that's the, oh, I'm confusing Mr. Handy with EDE, how could I? But yes, EDE and Mr. Handy, I both like those. Remember the, Heavy Object. I never watched Heavy Object, but those armored vehicles are very interesting. Maybe one of those Russian pod rockets with those points, but more rounded. Ah, yes. This particular design with a rounder tip and these little slots in it for missile launching. That is a good design. I think, I like that. Yeah. And we could actually put the medium laser in here, although we do have 2 of these pods. Although we could have a 12-slot pod. I think that is... I like that. That a lot of Battlemechs actually have this kind of rocket pod style design, and then we could put the laser port right here. There we go. Something like that. And yes, we are definitely... how are we going to attach an arm and a leg? That will come with creativity. Making everything look like an egg. Yes, that is what we are trying to do here. All you remember of Heavy Object is the commander. I think there is an implication there, Gale. Let me see here. Heavy Object Commander. All I know, there was something odd about that. Oh my goodness! Oh, I see why you enjoy the the visage of the commander, GSG tuber. Oh, goodness me, oh my. I'm going to have to set that aside for the time being. We have egg-related matters to do here. We cannot focus on other kinds of eggs. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to Megamek really quick. Let's go back to Megamek Lab. I'm not going to repeat those phrases. Oh goodness, let me cut to it. So, one thing, Egg, feel free to have input on this, but I actually left a hand on the left side of your body. And I'm thinking of actually removing the lower arm completely, leaving you with nothing but basically a little stub where your shoulder is, so that there is no hand per se, and I think that is appropriate to the thematics of this egg design. And of course, as the wingmates are mentioning, we should make everything look like an egg. Our mounted missile launcher's egg-shaped body, a mad cat. Well, so I cannot recall a variant of the Mad Cat that has arm-mounted missile launchers. Oh, wait. Are the missile launchers in the torso, or are they in the arms? I know it looks like they're in the arms, but I think mechanically they may be in the torso. I'd have to look that up. Okay, sounds acceptable. Thank you. So with Egg's blessing, let's actually print out a... I'm gonna have to call this something. So Egg with 3 G's. And we are going to... Oh, this gave me a cursed idea. Oh, that's a crossover bit of art. Okay. Let's see here. Let's export this to PDF so that we have this image available to us. Egg G egg dam. Ooh, yes. Is that poll still up? Here we go. I don't know if anyone's missed this one, but feel free to add that to the poll that we're currently running. That at the end of the drawing, we will finally name this beautiful egg mech. We're using direct democracy in this situation, simply because there are so many egg puns, and I just cannot decide. It would be unfair for me to decide. Okay, let's export this PDF. Current unit. Let's go up 1 level. Let's go up. Here we go. VTuber mechs. For now, we will simply be a PDF. Alright, let me put away Megamek. Megamek Lab really quick. Let's do the cut. Don't want to scramble your brain with all the possibilities. Yeah. You got me there. My mental faculties are already somewhat scrambled, I must admit. So let's get that reference out onto a tray. Nice. Okay, let's find that document and get it into Krita. Here we go. Here we go, VTuber mechs, egg.pdf. Yes, the F-Arms, the poll has some excellent contributions. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm not gonna bother using a command line for this, so there is a way of doing it, but I'm just going to use Sherex to snip this mech out. Snippy. Go. Snip complete. Let's import it into Krita. Where is my screenshots bin? Which one is this? Egg. There we go. There is egg. Insert as reference image. Fantastic. We are well on our way to creating the ultimate in egg-tertainment content. Alright, so let's take a look. So the core is pure engine, but I think we won't have a distinct set of torsos. Yes, Steve MRE 1984 is a fantastic channel. I don't know if other wingmates have heard of it, but it is a gentleman who reviews historical meals ready to eat and other sorts of military rations. And by review, I mean not just look at the packaging, but also eat them. And yes, he has a fantastic voice. You can fall asleep to it. His demeanor is kind and gentle, as if he were a good shepherd for his wayward flock. And his catchphrases are fantastic, so highly recommended. Not virtual by any means, but a tuber nonetheless, so that, yes, please do check out Steve MRE. Oh goodness, I can never get the order of the naming right. Steve MRE 1989? Goodness. Okay, so we have ideas for our weapon pods here. We know what our AA system will look like. Hello, Ray. Welcome to the convoy. Good to see you here. Good to see everyone. Thank you, Alaric. Thank you. You have given that thought a concrete textual form. Ah, yes. All right. So, let's make these little Soviet-style rocket pods a little more egg-shaped. So it's a little domey, like we have a dome right here. Here we have the medium laser port, which goes pew pew pew, and then here we have the ports for the missiles themselves, and we can consider both of the SRM-6s to be present within this one single component. And then this could stick off the egg body right here. I'm already liking this. Okay. Here we go. MRE mukbang, here we come. Pizza MRE. Hello, Miwa. Welcome to the convoy. I hope you are doing well. Yes, well, we are designing a Battlemech. I don't know if you've seen any of the other Battlemech design streams, and this was sort of the boring part of the stream, at least, I suppose, to anyone not fully vested in the Battletech universe. But we designed this bipedal war machine, which weighs 75 tons, can run about 80 kilometers per hour at its highest speed, has a gigantic artillery cannon, missile systems, a highly advanced communication system, and it is also as fragile as an egg, because this is a representation of... Oh, you can't have sound? Okay, well, I'm still telling folks about this. It's a representation of Egg, the VTuber, as a Battlemech. Okay, so I think we have enough ideas. Let's leave them on another layer, and then we can begin our sketch for various layouts of the mech. So we're using an upright egg design. So that's a little off, but we're doing the scribbly scribbles right now. Okay. Yes, Alaric, that is exactly what I am doing. 1, 2, 1. We need a little ear here, little nose. Oh goodness, you're looking like Kilroy here. Let's undo that. All right. So here we're gonna have our missile pod. No, the right arm is the cannon, and I also should do a different perspective. But for now, while I'm sketching, note to self: note, new perspective, because I keep doing this thing where it's facing this way, and that's just not a good way to do it. It's a frail mech, but fast and strong. It's strong in the way it supports others, but in direct combat, it is actually surprisingly weak. That is the nuance of this design. But I think as a team player, this is a fairly flavorful apparatus. So, Krita has a perspective ruler tool. Yes, it does. It does. Although I think for drawing in 3D, like, I can't just simply do the side view of the pod and then perspective it into submission, because it won't do something like, you know, like this very well. Yabai. We did not see that. We did not see that. No, we did not see that. Let's draw this up. I don't want to make many suggestions because I love watching the design process, but the ears and nose are flat on me if you didn't know. Yeah, I did assume that they are sort of drawn on, but I suppose you did see me do the little doodle sketch, and that was sort of just to for reference sake. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that is drawn on if we add ears and a nose, and thus the perspective will be flat. No worries, as long as you have a box in perspective as the core chassis and bigger perspective box around anything else, you can wing it readily. Yeah, I'm not academically versed in perspective, so everything I do is sort of eyeballing, but I definitely need to get sort of in the swing of that things. Just a sticker, decals. Yeah, we're just gonna paste little stickers on egg here. Okay, so this is just a sketch for now. So let's add our missile pod here. Let's make it look as if it's rounded. There's the front of the pod, and it extends to the back. And we can pretend that it comes back here, and it's inside. And internally, it would have just a simple mount here, which would also have some lateral movement, not just up and down elevation, but also side to side. But we'll have to figure that mechanism out a little bit later. Okay, so which arm was it on? Did I mess up again? The sniper's in the right arm. So this is incorrect. But from this perspective, it doesn't matter. So we'll flip the final result. So the sniper is technically in the torso and in the arm, because it is such a big weapon. So part of me would actually like to have the barrel sort of sticking out of the egg itself. That looks a little bit weird right now, especially with this gobbledygook that I've added in the middle. Let's delete that, Control-Alt, back to brush. Here's our medium laser port. Oh, that looks yab, but whatever, that's fine. It's a laser, pew pew pew. Let's see here. We can add a gun shield here to make it look like it has a bit of swing to it. Kind of make it look like a sort of a walking tank. Now we do have a stub right arm, I think, and for that we can just have this egg-like protrusion, which contains the remainder of the mechanism for the sniper. Because technically the arm still exists, so it's this stubby, useless vestigial limb coming off of the side of the mech, whereas the actual sniper itself is built right into the top. Okay. Although we may change that. We may put the sniper into this like amorphous blob on the side of the mech. Now, cockpit. I feel like having it at the top would be a little bit absurd, because that implies that the pilot will always have this annoying barrel in the way. Another egg. Let's see here. Let's add another egg for the cockpit. Yes, a egg bulging out of the center. And for now, we can give it these little bracing lines to indicate that there are panes in the glass, so that it has some volume. If we could color, that would be done with color, as you would on a normal Battlemech cockpit. But for the time being, we'll have to indicate like this. Eggs within eggs. When you look too deep into the abyss, you will see the firmament of the universe. Eggs upon eggs, eggs within eggs, eggs intersecting other eggs. It's eggs all the way down. All right. Now, I feel like this particular vehicle would be very stumpy. It would not have graceful, long egg legs. No. This is an egg, and it has eggs for legs. So, how do we want... Oh, this will be a chicken walker. I think the legs... Oh goodness, allow me to reset my neural parameters. Oh. Yes, chicken walker makes far too much sense. So egg treads would be appropriate, but unfortunately, treads are a legitimate design component in BattleTech. So I guess something like this with an egg shape to it, and then the actual treads circling around the egg shape. That would definitely be interesting, but unfortunately, that part weighs a lot, and it does not actually add much. Does not add much to the functionality of any given Battlemech. So I think that'd be cute. That would actually be one of the better ways of doing locomotion for this. But unfortunately, we'll have to go with something that is more rules appropriate. And give it those chicken legs, and we'll call it the Babu Yaga. Well, the poll's still open, so feel free to punch that name in. Oh, goodness. Right, so the thigh. The thigh will be very egg-like. In fact, everything about this... Oh, I love these round shapes. They're so easy to draw as opposed to something a little more geometric. And we have another... Let's make them stumpy. Stumpy. There we go. Let's make them thinner. Yes. Let's delete those lines. Those are not looking good. All right, let's make this a little bit thinner. There we go. And then we'll figure out the joint a little bit later. Here is our second little chicken foot. And then we have, let's make this a spherical ball foot. And all of these little toes will be elongated. And then we have little chicken feet. There we go. It's almost as if it lays itself. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The answer is neither. The chicken is the egg, and the egg is the chicken. You underestimate the power of the cycle of samsara, the endless circle of reincarnation. Egg is everything. Egg is all. I am. Maybe the legs could be even a little bit stumpier. We can make them broader and stumpier. Thin eggs. Okay, so we have our little stumpy egg arm. We have our little missile launcher. So this is a command meg. Oh no, that's more like Megbert and not a mech. But I guess that if you meg. No. The sounds are incompatible. Alas. It's the egg. The offspring would be the first thing recognizable as chicken, and the chicken comes from an egg. The creature that laid an egg, we cannot be certain. Meg. Well, see, Alaric, I am discussing on a spiritual plane here. I'm not talking about the genetic technicalities of the genetic or phenotypical technicalities of what came first. I am talking about that egg is all. We cannot deny that. All right, let's for lack of better tools, let's take this drumstick here and let's mutilate it a little bit to see what a stumpier loadout would look like. What have I done? Oh, no shaman. Well, that career opportunity could always await. I'm sure that applications are open for shaman even now. Not physical, but the metaphysical being of egg. Yes. Well, this isn't a clubfoot. I'm just testing out what it would look like with the leg stumpy. I haven't done the second leg stumpy yet. So if the legs were a little bit stumpier, I think it would look a little awkward. Now, you know what? The proportionality of... So we have... The leg is slightly shorter than the egg. Oh, this is getting confusing. The egg is slightly shorter than the egg. Okay. But we could space them a little wider apart. I think it needs a little bit of a waddle. Maybe you could go with something like a Destroyed monster. So I ostensibly... the leg is slightly shorter than the egg. You could call the main egg body the pod if it gets too tongue twisty. I'm enjoying the tongue twisting. All right. Let's take a look at the Destroyed monster. Oh, yes, it has the big old feet. The big old feet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is someone asking me to make big old feet for the egg? This is very concerning. Alright, we're gonna play some paper dolls with this egg. So let's try a destroyed foot. That's actually a pretty cool idea. But let's do a chicken leg destroyed foot. Let's see, select all. So we have the reverse joint, and then we have a big destroyed foot egg. So it's a bit rounded. Maybe we'll give it a second joint here. And that is sort of, we need to make this thicker. So that is more of a destroyed egg foot sort of style. So let me grab this very briefly. Grab the egg leg. I made it too big. We need to make that a little smaller if we're to fit it. Okay. You know what? We could just also just go with a Zumbini leg. Just, I give up. The foot is just. The foot is just an egg. There we go. There, done. There's an egg for you. Just two little feet doing their little tippity toppity up down motion, like a Zumbini. Oh my god. Oh this is. Egg, your emoticon. It looks so disapproving. Oh. Okay. All right, let's not get too carried away. All right. As much as I like these the idea of a destroyed foot, because it does sort of have the potential to look like a chicken foot. I don't know, Egg. What's your opinion on this? Do you want these kind of sort of flatter but still egg-shaped destroyed feet that then chicken leg back, or would you prefer a chicken leg? Or maybe just a big blob for your leg. Either is good with me, but I think this is definitely becoming a personal decision, considering the concerned egg emote was brought out. Look like the Amogus drip meme. Too hard to choose. If anyone in the audience, feel free to peer pressure Egg about his very own design. Engage the suggestions. We have chickens, we have a destroyed foot, and we have just absurd blob foot, which is my personal least favorite because it doesn't have nearly enough detail. Okay. Is it possible to add a third leg? Hello, Corpse. Hello, Simi. Hello. Did I say hi to Karis? Oh, well, now I have. And if I've missed anyone, I truly apologize. Possible add a third leg. I think a tripod kind of might especially work, especially for a sniper. Ooh. So, here's the rub, Corpse. There is a tripod mech style, but we would have to go back to the mech sheet and rebuild it as a tripod. And I do think that a tripodal mechanism would look very interesting on this particular egg. Yes, it would look pretty nice. Let's take a look at our mech design here. 1 second, please. I need to switch back to Megamek lab. Let's cut. Is Megamek lab visible? There it is. Twitch approved third legs. Don't want Kiara's chicken leg. Okay, so let's try a tripod. Oh no! So resetting to a tripod unfortunately reset the entire chassis. Let's see how quickly I can whip this up. 75 tons, inner sphere mixed, engine light, structure composite, gyro XL, enhancements none, heat sinks inner sphere double, armor type standard, armor tonnage 11, auto allocate armor, movement speed 4.6. Equipment, we lost all the equipment. Perhaps an arm for stabilizing rather than an entire new leg. Well, you see, what we have done is we have stripped out all of the hands in the arm, which is sort of one of the issues. Because to go with a rounder shape, we are giving this mech no arms. I believe it's pronounced euros, and they're filled with gyros, gyros, euros. They're filled with falafel or shawarma, and your value is unrealistic. My value was unrealistic. Aw. Oh goodness, I think that reference went over my head. I am so sorry. There's too much egg in my head and not nearly enough Mediterranean food. That is not my strong food in historical Terran cuisine, unfortunately. Okay, so the sniper, weapons, physical, no, artillery weapons. We are speed rebuilding this egg. We have the technology. We can do this. Artillery weapons, ammunition. We need 5 tons of sniper ammo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need ballistic weapons, missile weapons. We need to go. SRM-6. Going, auction. Going once, going twice. Sold for the low price of a 1 dozen eggs. 1 dozen eggs. Going fast. Here we go. Auction house. Ammunition. Let's add some SRM-6 ammo. We will add clan SRM-6 ammo, clan SRM-6 ammo, smoke. Okay. Energy weapons, medium laser, ER, inner sphere added. Other equipment. We need an anti-missile system, inner sphere type. We need C3 master computer added. We need Guardian ECM system added. We need case. Inner sphere case. Where is case? There, we have added inner sphere case. And I believe we also need a supercharger. We need a supercharger. Here we go. Inner sphere supercharger added. And we will also require... I apologize for the speed build here. I'm not going into quite the detail I would want because tripods unfortunately break the rules. Let's see, ammunition. We need... anti-missile system ammunition for an inner sphere weapon system. Okay, let's rebuild this mech. Let's strip out the hands and the lower arms. Let's strip out the lower arms. We have our light engine, C3 master computer, SRM. No, strip out that lower arm. So SRM-6 in the left arm. Yes, that is correct. Yes. Okay, the ammunition. No. Medium laser system. Anti-missile system, sniper goes in this arm, fills up all the crits. Sniper ammo goes here, goes here. And we have a supercharger that we must place somewhere near an engine. Let me deallocate this, remove C3 computer master, put the supercharger here, strip this down. Let's put the C3 master back into position. Let's put case so that we prevent ammunition explosions from completely devastating this mech. Even though it's an egg, we shouldn't be that fragile. Let's put 1 ammunition in the left foot. ECM suite in the center leg. Now we have a center leg. Sniper. Oh, actually, we can put sniper ammo in both the feet. No, that's not the best idea. Let's put anti-missile system ammo next to the anti-missile system. And let's put, there we go, speed build. And we are 1.5 tons overweight. So, Corpse, I think this is a very cool idea with the 3-legged mech, but we are suffering from overtonnage. Do we have enough criticals to... Okay, let's try this. Let's try using Clan Ferrofibrous. We just don't have enough crits. This is really painful. Can we reduce the amount of crits? Ooh... Okay, so as you can see, one of the limitations in Battlemech building is that you have these open critical slots, and right now using ferrofibrous armor, which gives us more armor points per ton, as opposed to standard armor, unfortunately it also increases the amount of space that armor takes up, because it's bulkier, but stronger for the weight. Okay, we may be able to make this fit. We just may be able to do this. Goodness. So if we... Okay, so how many armor points do we need? So we need 176, and switching to Clan Ferrofibrous, we will be able to save 2 tons, which is enough. 2 tons is enough saved space. Oh no, of course, it's a great idea. It would look rather striking. And I really want to fit it in now. I don't know how you feel about being a tripod egg, but I think it would look very interesting with the current design that we are working with. I don't want to rip out the supercharger, but I might have to rip out the supercharger. Okay, you know what? Maybe we can drop one of the sniper ammo tons, especially the one in the foot. That one is... Okay, no. Here's what we'll do. We'll rip out the Guardian ECM suite, and we will put in a clan spec ECM suite. So we'll go to other equipment. We'll go to electronic countermeasure system clan. Where is it? Oh, electronic warfare equipment, ECM suite clan. So this one weighs half a ton less, and it takes up, more importantly, 1 crit less. So let's add it. Okay, there we go. So now we add a much smaller ECM suite here. Perfect. Oh, okay, so the blast from the left leg will travel to the left torso, but the center leg's blast... Okay, pro tip for anyone building a tripod. Oh, good, wonderful. Yes, the foot. Basically this... Oh, so we'll have to make sure that we indicate that there is a sensor pod on the center leg of this particular Battlemech. Okay, and now we can fill up the rest of this auto-allocate, and we actually have 1 ton left over that we can add to armor, but I don't want to add it to armor. That is not the point of egg. Egg is all about... No, that's too much tonnage. Let's see here. But we have no more crits. We have absolutely no more crits remaining. Oh, I need to stop talking about Battlemech feet. This is going to lead to places I don't want to go. Oh, we are so strapped for crits here. Oh goodness. And we have a spare ton, but I don't want to make this mech any stronger. This is unacceptable. Maybe if we drop composite and we go to standard. No, that's too heavy. We have to use composite structure at this point. Yes. We're all on this RoboFeet journey together. Yep, us and our 3 RoboFeet here. Oh, goodness. Tripod cockpit. It does weigh more to begin with. Gyro Excel. Maybe we can play with the gyro. Let's stick a standard gyro. Standard gyro is too heavy. It would also mean less armor. But XL gyro is a lot of fun. Engine light. Ah, goodness me. So let's auto-allocate these criticals. So as you can see, we have filled out the mech completely. Maybe tripod is stable. Bipod will have a chance of tipping over. Then chicken meg feet, thick humanoid feet, clown shoes. Oh, I'm really concerned about these implications here, Attenborough. Oh goodness. Does adding too much stuff hinder speed? So affarmeds. I'm sorry, it's very difficult to pronounce the full name with the consonants. So if you look right here in the design spec, we actually set the speed. So technically, if you want to add more gear, you can drop the speed, which will drop the engine tonnage, leaving you with more tonnage for your weapons. But by default, the design is built engine first and weapons later. Affarmed, the Model S. Okay, affarmed. A farmed S. There we go. Oh no, the eyes. So, why not? You're actually dead on. A tripod, by the rules of the game, actually does have an inherent advantage to stability, and it's one of the few mechs, or mech types in the game universe that has a dual cockpit. And so tripods, all of them, have a pilot, and they have a gunner. So in a sense, this is actually a very interesting thing for a command mech. So this is Egg and his yoke. It's sort of like I would consider the 2 pilots that compose the crew for this Egg mech to be sort of akin to the Holy Trinity, but just with 2 components. Humpty Dumpty definitely did not have excellent stability. Okay, so now we have a tripod with 1 ton left over. I am loath to add... Let's try standard armor. Wait, how did we reach that? Okay, what happens if we add another ton of clan? Ooh, we're up to 192. Okay, you know what? Here's what we will do. I have a solution. The yolk and the white. Albumin and yolk. Yes, yes. Oh, those will be your pilot names, Egg. Perfect. Because the pilots in the board game do get names, and they have their own skills. There's a bit of a roleplay aspect to the Battletech tabletop. So, here we go. While we have more armor now than we had before, we can allocate it really poorly. So, let's actually strip down the center torso, and let's strip down the legs a little bit. And we'll make the egg an all-rounder by putting more armor on the rear. And that way, it's bad armor all around, and there's no good armor anywhere you look. And I think that is appropriate. There we go. This is dismal. This is awful. This is ill-advised, but we are doing it. Fantastic. Oh, this is... Oh, garbage. We're using expensive clan ferrofibrous armor, but it is so poorly allocated. We are actually worse off in our armor tonnage than we were at the start of our design. But now we have 3 legs, so it's well worth it. And here we go. 5 tons of sniper ammo, 2 tons of SRM-6, 1 ton of anti-missile munitions, supercharger still in place. I think this is good to go. Perfect. Terrible armor alignment. I'm liking the look of this. It does give you a reason not to get complacent. Oh, my tongue would be cut out in several jurisdictions for that kind of statement. Alright, let's go back to Krita. Megamek lab away. Alright, so here we are back at our chicken zone. So now that we are tripod, unfortunately, all of our lovely monster feet are gone. The monster has no feet. No destroids. There we go. Control-Alt, select, brush tool. We go back to sketchy. So we have our frontal chicken leg, our front drumstick. Then we have our frontal foot. And now we can make the trinity complete by keeping triple toes on the triple legs. Threes. 3 is a powerful number. There we go, something like that. And then the third leg behind there. This is our first tripod design. I love tripods. One of the other cool things about tripods is technically they have 360-degree torso rotation. Whereas normally, so if you look at hex facings in the Battletech game, if a mech is facing this way, so this is the front and this is the rear of a Battlemech, you will normally be able to fire your weapons, in essence, in this direction, in this zone of fire, for anything mounted on your frontal part of your mech. If you have a weapon in an arm, it is also able to fire in this sector right here, depending on if it's a left arm or a right arm. And if you have a rear-mounted weapon, it is able to fire in this particular sector. This is the rear sector of fire. But when you have a turret or a tripod with a rotating torso, you can literally at will flip this around. And there is also a movement mechanic where normally a Battlemech would have to, so if it's facing this way, it would have to rotate its facing hex sides and then move. Whereas the egg, or with the tripod design, you're able for one movement point, of which you only have anywhere from 4 to 6, simply pick a facing and rotate. So the egg basically can turn on a dime. And I like this because it gives this sort of command mech the ability to get out of town very quickly. And I think this is an excellent thing for it. Yes, you can spin to win! You can go wee! You spin this way, you spin that a ways. You can go left and right. It's fantastic. Do you think we can go stubbier or no? Okay, let's see here. Let's do an X-ray here. A little stubby leg here with little fat toes. You know, we could go a little stubbier. What do you think, wingmates? Stubby? Stubbier? I like the idea of stubby. It definitely gives it a bit of a I think with a tripod, it disarms it. It makes it cuter. I like that. I like that. Okay. Let's add a new layer and begin the final product. For now, let's make the opacity on this layer really light, just so we have our inspiration behind us. Okay, I will do... Okay, we're still doing a sketch here, so I'll do a perspective draw, or a front flat drawing first. So facing us, the egg will look something like this. Let's draw a circle. I can't even draw a circle. We'll do that first. So we have... So facing us, its right arm is the one equipped with the long tom. So this is its right arm. So this is the ammunition or gun mechanism bump. And we could draw a little port here if it's facing the right way for shell ejection. So boonk, we have our shell ejecting from the gun mechanism here. Let me erase this very quickly. So we have our egg cockpit here. The cross bracing to make it visible for the time being. We have our gun mount sticking out of it. I think we'll make it a little thinner. There we go. And we have a very vague egg-shaped gun pod with a laser. And then we have these missile ports. So it looks like a Soviet helicopter gunship missile pod. And then we have our stubby little leg, which should be no taller than the mech's pod proper. And then we have our third leg here. There we go. A little scrappy. Okay, so that's what it looks like from the front. And we have our torso seam here. I like the look of this. Okay, let's move on to the final product. All right. So we can make this opaque. All right. Intimidating. Yes, it is. It's gonna make people's nerves crack when they see it on the field of battle. Although once they learn about the armor on it, they will probably laugh uproariously. I'm liking the Metal Gear T-55X pose in the tripod had. Yeah, from the front it definitely looks like it. Oh. One detail we forgot is the sensors pod. We must have a sensors pod because there is a Guardian ECM suite here. And I think to indicate that it is a command mech, actually, so the command computer is here, but the command computer can be hidden. Okay, on to the final product. So let's zoom in a little bit here and start doing a sketch layer for the final product. Okay, so let's draw the baseline for the egg body. Ourselves a little cross-hatching here. Let's do the egg's waist. Egg has a very round waist. Egg, has anyone ever asked you what your 3 numbers are? This would assist in the design of this particular war machine, I think. All right, let's round up the cute little top that we have here. Oh, that is so off kilter. The lines have hurt more than they have helped. We'll just eyeball it. We'll eyeball it. There we go. No, never! Also, maybe the side blob thing for the gun mount might be a good idea so we can spray paint Egg's facial features onto the body. Ah, yeah, you could potentially put something on that particular mount point. I wonder what it could be. Or maybe we could have a decal of Egg on that. That is a good idea. That is a good idea. Let's do the little bottom here. Oh, Ray, I'm not gonna read that one. I think Egg would never forgive me if I read it out loud, especially with some kind of ada voice. Oh goodness. Oh my. This is the danger of running a long design stream. My brain begins failing and all of the safeties start going away. Okay. This may somehow end up being worse than the sketch, but this is a sacrifice I am willing to make. It's an egg bee. The little pod with the windows makes a good nose, depending on the height of it. Yes, yes, it does. So, Egg, would you mind throwing up one of your emotes? I am too frazzled to pull up a reference picture of you right now, or I think I will do that. I will do that. Now that I've said it out loud, I'm actually very embarrassed that I even said that. Ah, okay, okay. There's okay. So your nose is right in the middle. I see that height. Everyone deserve an ask. Yes, yes. Everyone deserves to be asked their 3 sizes. Can I even do an ara? Let's see here. Ara. That'll do for now, I think. Okay, so let's add the general zone of the cockpit. The zone of enders, the zone of eggders, something like that. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Let's add the bulginess of it. Okay, yeah, we're getting a little nose here. I like it. You know, this mech needs eyes. I think it does need some eyes. It really does. Yes, apologies. Goodness me, goodness me. No, I will not do any BFE though. No. That is not a relationship in which I wish to engage. Let's see here. Okay. We're gonna add the matlet for our primary weapon, and I think because it's an artillery piece, I want to make sure it is able to traverse a decent range up and down. Yeah, despite the matlet being in the way. Okay, here we go, here we go. It's okay, Ray, you're not a bad influence. The evil is within me at all times, and I have chosen willingly and voluntarily to let it out of myself. Just as I did when I drew the Amogus version of me. So I'm, as many others, prone to demonic possession. It's just that I do my best to maintain control over the demons within. Sus. Oh, goodness. Wingmates, I have never played Amogus. I have never so much as input a single control into the executable of Amogus, of the Amogus binary. Oh, this is dismal. What am I doing? But I have seen too much of it. I have seen far too much. I want a muzzle brake. A muzzle brag. No. I think that would ruin the lines of the egg to have a muzzle brag. Okay, let's see here. Just a fey mood. Yes. Battlemechs get me in a strange sort of way. This is where all of the power trapped within begins to come out. The alt paint scheme for this would be an Amoger. You played with Kiara Egg? Oh my goodness. You died first, but at least you touched the wings of celebrity. Wonderful, wonderful. I am very glad that you had that experience, Egg. It is they say never meet your heroes, but I think in this case we can ignore that. Because it's Amogus, and your hero's gonna kill you. Alright, getting our little stubby tripod legs, and this one will be probably hidden behind the body a little bit. Well, but we will absolutely have the leg coming out here. Perspective is a little bit different. Got cracked in front of Hiroshi. Omedetou Egg. Sasuga. Not a botter, Ray. I spammed her chat to read out the code instead of showing. Oh, Egg. You're being a bad egg here. Don't make me bring out the mixer We're gonna have to have some criminal justice here. All right. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Every that is very fascinating. Okay, okay, back to the brush, back to the brush. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you do have to engage in things that are not something you normally would in order to you know, that you normally wouldn't see yourself doing before you can actually get to where you want. For one, I would actually have never expected myself to be speaking to anyone on a live stream, but here I am. We all find ourselves in the oddest places in our lives, and the journey that brings us there, I think, is part of the fun. Okay, so the left arm is the one with missiles. So let's add the missile rack here. So we want a gently egg-shaped curve to this rack. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, give that a bit of a curve on the rear. Okay, this perspective is a bit off. I need to add an indicator line here, and the laser port needs to be very prominent. Okay, there we go. There is the laser port. Here we are. Some people are crazy. They use a screen reader to get the room code in 1 millisecond. Oh, that is awful! Yes, it's surprisingly easy to run bots on a lot of this stuff, and malicious uses are unfortunately one of the things that comes up when developers use their talents for evil. I was indeed a lurker for a long time. I mean, I must acknowledge that to me, the understanding of 20th and 21st century Terran culture was something I had interest in, but I was very alien to it. I found this node, oh my, perhaps 25 years ago? And ever since, I have been slowly absorbing the culture and watching it develop, oddly enough. I thought this was a historical repository, a live-action roleplay, so to speak, but no, it evolves, so I'm not quite sure what is going on with this particular JumpNet node. But it's very... It takes some time to gain confidence, especially in what I would say, for lack of better terms, a time that is not my own, even though ostensibly I am not aware of any certain time offsets between this particular server and mine. But it is what it is, and we have to accept life. But enough about off topic. Spacer, I must say, you really are getting to the feel for egg. I almost think you were my carton neighbor with how much you know. It's enlightening. Oh, I'm glad you think I'm close enough to get some of the power of egg, even a sliver of your power and your awareness into my mind. Thank you. I'm flustered here. Oh goodness. Okay, so here we are doing our missile ports. That's not up to my standards, but we can draw this little divot here to indicate that this port is actually an indentation. And then we can have another port in the back. We'll have to readjust this, I think. These ports are a little off. Goodness me. Okay, there we go. We have another port here. Yeah, that looks awful. I'm gonna redo that later. Okay. So we have our sniper cannon. You know, as much as greebling is sort of the go-to for making a mech look advanced, I think for egg, smooth lines are what we want to keep. I definitely think that, especially considering Egg's avatar is the pinnacle of expressive minimalism. Hi, Miwa. Oh yes, we're on to drawing. I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah, thank you for stopping by. It's always appreciated. I know this isn't for everyone, so as long as I can provide some sort of entertainment, that is all, then I have accomplished my goals. So yes, let's keep these clean lines and make sure these legs are nice and stubby. I think we may have to expand the upper drumstick. And let's add our spherical ball junction here. Okay, I think this is how I want this leg to look like. Now, curved shapes, I find them to be difficult to get the conical section for the seam here, so I am doing my best approximation. All right, We're trying to keep the leg the same size. We're doing that. We're giving it a little ball foot for now. We'll do the chicken toes later. Okay, and now we have the third leg. Ah, goodness. You know what? I arranged it a little funny. Okay, so if we have one leg like this, one leg like this, so the perspective from top down might have been like this. The center, so center leg, center leg. So would the leg potentially go like this? Or would it look like this, the way I began to draw it? Actually erase that. That does not look good. I think it may... Maybe it comes out right here or so. Wait, we have to do... No, let's do a triangle. Let's do a construction line. Let's add another layer. Let's pick a different color. Let's go with a cyan. Let's set the opacity to half. Let's draw a construction line. Okay, so that is where the other foot would be. I really would have preferred the other foot to be visible, but I should have drawn the construction triangle first. So this is my bad, but I think we are too far into the carton, and we're just gonna have to finish the box and make this omelet. We've broken a few eggs, but we're gonna have to make it. All right, so we will put the foot there. Let's go back to this layer. Yes, go back to brush, black color. We'll put the foot here. You know what? That saves us a bit of time in our drawing. I don't like it. I don't like it. Although we could draw this mech in motion. That is much more complicated. And I just realized I also did this facing again, the way I did with Gale's mech. But it's okay. We all come back to what we're comfortable with. And sometimes it takes an active reminder, even though I put it on the other layer right here. Perspective. Oh, that goes to show you that sometimes even if you write it down, you will ignore it. And you need someone to simply say it into your ear. Okay. This will need some more detailing, and I think this needs to be beefed up here at the muzzle end. Although I think it keeps the... We're going with points. I think an angled muzzle like this is better than having a stepped one, because most of the silhouette in this design relies on this convergent principle. We do have some parallel lines here, but I think it's acceptable. Although we could add a bit of divergence this way, giving it a bit... Okay, I think I like that. Yeah, let's give it a bit of divergence. So the pod has a radius back here. Radius 2 is larger than radius 1 here. Yes. I think that is more than acceptable. All right, let's clear this out. Oh no, that's the wrong tool. Let's use our Selectomatic lasso and just take away these sketches. It's okay that we ripped off a chunk of the sketch, or the art. That is more than acceptable, I think. Okay, back to the brush. Select all of the work area. Let me check on the poll real quick. See what's going on. See if there's been any sabotage. Okay. I see the results. We will save the new tripod egg with a sheet the moment we are done there. Okay, do we want to do motion? So let's go to our construction layer. So okay, so a tripod motion is very non-trivial. So if we do a side profile with egg's little bottom here, we could say that the forward leg is moving forward, so the foot is extending and is planting itself on the ground, while this leg is actually arching and extending forward, so it's off the ground, and while the third leg is sort of in the process of being used to push backwards and away. So looking at it from this perspective, the triangle doesn't help us much, but it does give us a base reference point. It would maybe look like, so this leg would be foreshortened because it is actually being lifted. So it's shorter from our perspective because it is being lifted up this way. And I literally have to, in my own simulation, lift up my arm to see the shortening. But on the other hand, this lower leg would remain the same. So the lines of this egg are definitely simpler, but the posing might be more complicated. Okay, so we have the leg extending. This leg is compressing, so it's kind of pointed this way. So the leg is compressing, and it is tucked in, and the toes are also drooping to indicate that the leg is being lifted, and we can actually have little footprints to indicate that it's moving. More of an isosceles triangle. It might even be just a completely asymmetrical triangle, depending on the gait pattern and where in the gait it is. Now, our main goal was to demonstrate that the other foot is moving. Okay, you know what? I have a different solution for this. Because, unfortunately, the way I've drawn this, once again, the leg is hidden. This is just a bad angle. I'm going to scratch that. What we're going to do is we're going to take this triangle, and we are going to rotate its point forward. Because, luckily, all of these tripods, their facing almost doesn't matter. So we will now have a rotated triangle. So let's see, so the leg, we will have this line, and this line. So now we will have at least a bit of the rear chicken leg facing us. So that is sort of my thought process for how to construct a better view for this particular leg. 2 legs up front. We'll have a space for Egg's mouth. Ah, well, so Egg's mouth. Oh, you know what, Amber? That is an excellent idea. Tripods in Battletech are usually 1 leg forward, 2 legs back. But I think having it in motion, or having this particular design be 2 legs forward, would be very unique. That's an excellent point. So, let's clear our construction lines again. Let's draw our base, our current triangle, and let's rotate it. So if we do a rotation, we will have the line here. Oh no, we won't. So if we rotate, we have to draw a little 6-pointed star here. Yes, because it's a rotation. We are not translating. The base of the triangle would not be here. The base of the triangle is below the point of this. Okay, there we go. So that way we would look like we would have a ball here. We have the joint here. Here we have the leg. Here we have the joint. Here we have the leg. Here we have the leg. Here, visible, we have the rear leg. Excellent. And we do have a space for a little mouth that we could draw here. Thank you. I could not do this without the contributions of anyone in the convoy. This is why we are a convoy. A convoy sticks together and we solve problems together. All right. So, before I make a little mistake, I'm actually going to save these legs onto another layer in case I want to come back to this. So I'm going to cut selection to new layer. So let's delete that and let's give Egg a new bottom. Go back to brush, Control All, brush, brushy. Is this the layer I want to work on? Yes, okay. Oh no, we're in blue. Okay, here we go. And we're still in blue. There we are, perfect. Let's do a bottom for Egg. There we go, fantastic. Unless we move the cockpit and mouth up a bit, might be a bit weird only seeing the nose and eyes if it's rotated. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to make eyes per se. Well, let's see, we could do some kind of like art here. So, okay, so bear with me. I think while it would be cool to have, you know, Egg's features like his hair, his eyes, etc., maybe we should go with something that's more Battletech-like and actually go with, yes, like nose art. Maybe go with like shark eyes so that there is an intimidation factor. And there's this snout here that we won't color in. But then we have, you know, an angry shark mouth with teeth in it. Oh my, that looks demonic right now. It looks like an angry clown. Okay. All right. Let's do that then. Corpse. That is a very, very good idea. It's I don't know if any of you have seen The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I believe the mayor of Halloween Town in that particular stop-motion animated feature film had a rotating head with two primary emotions of happy and sad, and I think this is sort of egg uh, has many different emotions to show us. That is sort of what I'm thinking of here. Oh goodness, I really like this. It egg. Oh my, I am losing my grip on sanity here. Oh, truly, this is every one of my art streams has something cursed about it. But I love it anyways. Here we go, we're going to the ball foot here. Goodness. Truly an excellent idea. Speaking of clowns, did you hear about they paint clown faces on eggs to copyright the design? Yes, Egg, I've heard about that. I don't remember if there is a particular special name for that, I guess, face paint egg, but it would be cool if someone could remember that. All right, so that foot is a little too small, I think. Okay, I need to work on these proportions. And then so we have an indicator of the rear leg. And we have plenty. Okay, this is a little too chunky here. We're gonna have to adjust it a bit. You watched it when it came out. Oh wow. That certainly would have been a while ago. This leg needs to be beefier. This leg needs to be beefier. Let's use our big pixel brush as an eraser. Put it on erase mode. For anyone using Krita, one of the most powerful tools in the toolkit is the ability to hit this little icon here, or the E button, and your brush, whatever it may be doing, becomes an eraser brush. So here it is in normal, and here it is in eraser mode. Very, very handy. I'm sure other tools have this. Alright, let's see here. Let's go back to the pressure-sensitive pixel brush. Do a nice thick leg. There we go. Ooh, that's a little too thick, and I think it needs to end right there. We need to leave room for the mouth. Yes. The mouth. There we go. Looking good, gorgeous. Looking good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I love eggs. Okay, there we go. No, the knee should be obscured. The knee should be obscured. Yes. So we have this knee obscuration component. No. The knee should be below, I think. Mouth. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad it's loaded. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have transcoding, I think, into a more low bitrate format, unfortunately. We're giving a frontal thick leg. Well, we are trying to do perspective here, but I have completely messed the perspective up. I'm trying to get the leg to look right. And sometimes it happens you spend a day drawing a simple circle, and you just can't get it right. Something is off here. Something is terribly off. Okay, that leg needs to face away. I had it pointing towards the viewer. And this leg needs to be bent like this. Oh no, what's going on here? Maybe stretch out the leg here. Okay, there we go. I just needed to make it bigger. That was the issue. Okay. The triangle was not centered. That is a... Excuse me, I didn't mind. God, goodness, Niwa. I love the body jokes coming out of all of this. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we were not on center. That is a very good point. Oh, no, not the PowerPoint mech. That will bore us to death. The PP Battlemech, sponsored by MS Soft. All right, here we go. Here comes the leg. Keep the chicken leg. I'll have a knee joint here. Oh, these legs are such a challenge, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it. And also, I will love doing the top-down perspective for the in-game icon for this particular mech. Simply because it's a tripod. That is the only reason I love tripods. And let's extend this rear leg a little more, actually. Let's make this one a little broader, a little stabler. Okay, there we go. I think I'm acceptable with that. And the rest of the leg will be sort of hidden back here. This is messed up, but I think I cannot keep doing this. I need to know where to stop. All right, let's begin a cleanup operation here. This pod is atrocious. This pod is dismal. Let's get rid of it. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Not for egg. Eggs deserve to be free range and of high quality. Alright. Miwa is handing me a wing. Thank you, Miwa. I am quite on a wing and a prayer right now, as I am losing my mind with this wonderful execution of a VTuber Battlemech. Okay. Truly, an artist should never, or anyone doing a sketch, I'm not going to call myself an artist proper, should never narrate what they're doing, because it makes one feel insane. Why am I saying these words? Why am I thinking these things when I draw? Why would I do such a thing? Alright, here we have our missile ports. Let's give them that perspective squish that they need. And there's 6 of them. So we have some here, we have some here, we have some more. How long has it been on egg now? Oh goodness, we are approaching 3 hours. A lot of that was mech design. And of course, me talking out loud does certainly slow me down, as opposed to working on my own some. But I think it is worth it in the end. And I've been wanting to draw for quite some time. This week has been mostly RTS games, so it's nice to have something a little bit different. Okay, I think that looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but I don't think with my current situation, this mech will be perfect as much as I would love it to be. All right, let's clean up this gun here. Let's clean her up. Let's clean her up. Let's get some of these lines. The traverse mechanism needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be actually a logical thing, the correct diameter of there. Oh, thanks, Egg. I'm wrapping this up shortly. I'm putting it in the carton and shipping it off away from the farm. All right, here. Let's see here. Oh, we are still on eraser mode. That was my mistake. All right, here is our gun elevation mechanism. Let's add that. So the gun elevation mechanism will have a limit here. We will not actually have this be a full 90-degree vertical elevation mechanism. It will end here at the crest of the egg. All right, here we go. Let's just do sketch style. All right, let's clean up some of these lines. Clean up that. Maybe that made it worse, but that's okay. So here we have our position here. Okay. So which leg will have the sensor pod? I think this one, because it is going to be most visible. So this will be the ECM blob on the leg. There we go. Let's erase the middle. Lots of egg shapes here. This reminds me of a Mon Calamari cruiser from Star Wars Episode 6. Or Episode 5, I think, was their first appearance. It definitely has that sort of blobby all over the place. Please don't send a Lucas out after me for this copyright. This is a battle mech, not a battle droid. I'm gonna have to repay this. Oh, you're gonna replicate me in Scribblenauts. Why, thank you, Egg. There's no need for repayment. I am doing this because I said I would for the various VTubers and viewers who kindly contributed their ideas to me. So even if it takes me a while, I will make it happen. And even if I can't keep up this level of quality for everyone, by God, I will try. At the very least, I will have a Megamek sheet for everyone involved. So that is my end goal, to have this showdown happen. Maybe a bit of biting off more than you can chew, but you know, that's life sometimes. Okay, here we go. Let's add some cockpit detail here, I think. Okay. All right, let's zoom in here. Okay, well, who could it be? Who could it be in the cockpit of this Battlemech? Okay, there we go. Egg Cruiser. They're in Rogue Squadron 2 and Empire at War. Oh, yes, they're in quite a few pieces of media. I need to drop my pixel count down here. Let's see here. Alrighty. Alrighty, there we go. Get the little hairs. 3 hairs and some airs, Bob Ross would say. Just keep it light, keep it light. There we go. That's a little too thick there. Let's erase it. Try it again. Let's do the same with the nose. Let's use our single pixel width. Back to the brush. Here's a little button nose. There we go. And a happy smile. There we go. That's a cheerful egg. And give that little bit of indication that there's a cheek. Okay, there we go. And egg, of course, needs a Neuro helmet. And we'll draw a Neuro helmet around egg, because without a Neuro helmet, you cannot pilot a Battlemech. Go. Let's erase the former egg outline, the shell. That's a pretty terrible Neuro helmet, but I think it will do. There we go. There, that's egg in a Neuro helmet. Let's complete the cockpit here. Let's draw our cross bracing member to indicate curvature. Let's make sure we don't cross egg's mouth with this cockpit line, even if it's a little ugly. This is Krita, Miwa. Let me put the spelling here. Krita. All right, here we go. Okay, it's him. All right, so we have our little pilot. Oh, actually, there's two pilots, but we can say that there's two eggs. His yolk and his albumin. One of them is colored white, one of them is colored black. And together, the two shall forever circle within their shell, but never meet. And yet, a small fragment of each other will remain inside the other. Thus, the cycle continues. All right, now that we're using this small pixel brush, let's draw the shark mouth right here. All right, let's do a happy shark mouth. Rawr. Why, Gura, inspire me. All right, let's do some angry teeth here. Rawr. There we go. Big chompers, and we'll give them a bit of this back lean, for lack of a better term. And then the back lean would be less steep from this perspective. And that's not perfect, but we are running out of time here. Rawr. Regment. Pixel art egg, somehow even more minimal. That's a very happy shark face. All right, let's add our little shark eyes. All right, there we go. Okay, drawing from perspective. So this will skew up here. Yes, that is going to be skewed. There we go. We can color in black the center of the eye. There we go. Bit of a clown, but that's okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. So there we go. We have our sensor pod. We are missing the toes. How could we forget the toes? I hate saying that, but we cannot forget that. Apologies, Wingminx, for how long this has taken, but the creative process is sometimes a fickle beast, and it demands things you never expected it would. Alright, let's do the toes a little simply here. Simply because we are running out of capabilities, but there we go. One toe. There we go. Attenborough, do not say that. Do not say that. Oh, it's okay. It's already out there. Everyone was thinking it. Right, I'm going to make this toe point towards the viewer to give sort of a different indication here. Let's have this one here for shorten. Okay, and now we need to have our ball foot here and the toe for that foot. Okay, and let's add a little bit of detail. I may have to come back and clean this up. All right. Okay, gun mantlet. Let's add a little detail here so it's not so barren. Let's add indicators of tracks for the elevation mechanism. Let's add something that indicates the elevation mechanism is actually inset just a little bit. Okay, what that happened there? Okay, let's add a little bit of a band here. I don't know what for, but I like it. Go. Maybe a barrel band here to indicate that this is coming out of here. All right. Let's add a missile vent here. Sometimes it's nice. This is not a Greeble heavy design, but this can be a missile vent right here. For the short range missiles, their blasts can be, I suppose, directed outward. Okay. So these ports need indicators of the holes where the missiles come out of. In addition to the teardrop shape of the cutaway, this laser needs an iris. That looks pretty terrible. Okay, alright, we're good. There we are. Aesthetics matter if I'm gonna die, at least looking good. Yes, they do, they do. You cannot underestimate the power of aesthetics on a battlefield. Do we want maybe thick eyebrows on the shark? No, 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 let's just make them. Actually, let's thicken up the eyebrows a little bit. Go. That looks terrible. There we are. We'll just make the eye also much more aggressive. Yes, yes, that is I think better. And let's thicken up the outer outline of the mouth. Okay, that does not look all that great, but we can clean up some of this. Kind of leave it to abstraction, and then we can add a hint of a different mouth. Let's make this a frown. A frown. So that's the sad clown rotation for this particular tripod. Okay, let's clear up some of these sketch layers. Let's delete them from existence. This is a fairly simple design, so I think I can get away with this very quickly. Let's go with olive drab here for a classic. Maybe the eyes could be bigger so they're more visible at distances. Yes, I think that is a good point. Back to the line work layer. Grab. Nope, didn't grab all of it. There we go. I think I grabbed some of the rest. Let's just zoom in because clearly my hands are not functioning. Yes. Okay, let's use this tool. Let's actually widen them apart a little bit. Give it that predatory glare. And I would give them a bit of roundness, but I'm too far gone for that, so let's it's gotta be spooky when you spot it above the tree line. Yes, it really must be spooky. Battlemechs do benefit from the intimidation factor. So let's see, that is roughly the right size, but it also wraps around now, but that's okay. You know what, let's just paste it on there and erase what we don't need. Let's go to brush, erase mode, drop the brush size. I should have masked this, although I'm not using layers, which is my bad. This may not have been the best move, but I think it's acceptable. We can sort of tell that there's two eyes. Back to this brush, nope. Back to black. Drop the pixel size. That, redo that. Delete the egg. And select all. Not perfect, not perfect. We'll put a blue background on that. Okay, I think I can quickly color this. Give me my olive drab brush, bigger brush, bigger brush. Here we go. Oh, no. Which layer is this on? What's going on? Oh, I'm in erase mode. No wonder it's not working. I need a more olive drab. Go. Much better, much better. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Quickly. Go. Give it some color. This might need to be a lighter olive drab. Some of the details are being lost in it. I think that is the situation that we are in. Painting an egg. Is it Easter already? Yes, it is. It is Easter in my mind. It is Easter in my soul. It is Easter where it counts. Okay, here we go. We painted over the cockpit. That's fine. Where's the fill tool? Fill, brush, back to brush. Zoom. Okay, here we go. Gotta keep this quick. Right. Let's reduce the brush size because we are hitting the limits of what we can do with such a big brush. Go, let's get the feet painted. That's the one thing about painting green with this particular outline circle that Krita has, is it really blends into the background, unfortunately. Alright. I think the main reason I'm painting this is because a shark face really does require the use of color to really show how it stands out. Let's make this brush even smaller. That was on the wrong mode. Fill in the toes. Here we go. Let's color this other foot so it stands out. Alright. Let's see. Let's add the detail layers on top of this. No. What we wanted to do was reduce the color. There we go. No, that's no longer olive. All right, let me pick that. Let me go to the lightness slider. Fill. I think that's better. That's definitely better. All right, let's add a detail layer on top of this paint layer. We'll just use it for everything that we have. Okay, let's go for a bright red. Actually, more of a... I like that. Okay. Oh, no. That's not a good tint. All right, here's the mouth. Here's the mouth. Perfect. Go. Here we go. Almost done. Almost done. Wrap this up. Now we need white. I'm not going to bother with another layer simply because time is a wasting. Right. Oh, why did I draw so many teeth? Right. Gotta brush each tooth individually. Remember, wingmates, brushing your teeth is a rather important thing. Gotta have these public service announcements. Sometimes when you're in the middle of the void of deep space, you forget that you have to do some of these things, especially when you're used to eating or drinking liquid, or perhaps getting an internal injection of a nutrient solution. And when you're back planet side, indulging in all of your various vices, be they sloth, gluttony, or otherwise, you will want to still maintain proper dental hygiene. Nobody wants to come back and have gingivitis during 20 G's of acceleration when you can feel your tooth inflammation. Ugh, not a very pleasant experience. All right, let me. Oh, see, this is the problem with not using different layers for different components. Is you have to start using the picker to start filling in holes. All right, there we go. Now you know the classic shark has white for its. It has white for its eyeballs. There we go. Thinking that's looking mighty decent. All right. We'll color the cannon gray. Let's go for a dark gray. Right. Go. The traverse mechanism, I think, can stay green. It's not that big of a deal. That big of a deal. Okay, let's fill that in, fill that in. Yes, do your dental reps indeed. I'm going to use this very same gunmetal gray to color these launch ports here, whereas this green is paint from the actual missile box itself. Okay, there's our missile port. That stepped out of bounds a little. We can erase it because it's not on base layer. And let's add a laser port. Let's use a blue... because this will be a blue laser, and we'll add a lighter blue as an indicator that there's some lens reflection, even though you can barely see it. Okay, now let's do the cockpit. With this color scheme, I think I want it orange. I want an orange tint to the cockpit, but we're gonna have to do this in layers. So on this layer, I will do egg. So egg is a nice creamy color. See what I can do here. Oh, my color correction software has engaged. Okay, let me turn off light bulb for a little bit. I'm having a hard time telling these red colors apart. Oh, you know what? White is okay. White is okay. So that is egg. Let's get his Nero helmet, which will be... let's make it magenta. I don't know why. Mech warriors have gaudy tastes. They have gaudy personal desires, and they have a lot of money to make those desires very well known. I'm not sure how this will do under a layer of opacity, of orange opacity, but we will find out. Okay, now we need another layer, which is going to be our orange cockpit opacity. So let's go with a very vehemently bright orange. There we go. That is violent. Okay, up our brush size. Here we are. Sorry, Egg, we're gonna have to hide you for a minute here. I feel like coloring this Easter egg mecha. Yeah, the Easter egg would be a great design. I'm just not thinking of one, and olive drab is a very, very simple way of doing it. Okay, so let's make the opacity of this layer. There we go. I think that adequately Okay, I think that about does that, although I am unsatisfied. So this is detail layer. This is detail layer, so I'm going to pick gray again, brown, or brush. There we go. Now I feel satisfied. Okay, and there you have it. That is something currently unnamed. Yeah, I went with an olive drab because of the shark theme, but this could be recolored any way you want. So it appears that Excelsior has won the poll. All right, you can go back to Megamek and name it. But first, let me save this project before I lose it. All right. Goodness, that is a full-fledged mech design. All right, let's go to Megamek and save our design. Megamek Lab. And do your cut. Here we go. All right, and the official naming ceremony. Egg, shell, Sior or Sior? Let me see how it's spelled. S-I-O-R. Excelsior. The egg Excelsior. Oh, you were expecting it to be yellow. Yeah, I guess something in my mind just went with the green. Okay, model. Eggshell. Excelsior. Esser. No. Egg. Let's just call it egg. Model egg. Egg 01X. Experimental model. Source. VTuber mechs. Alright, let's save this design. Let's validate it first. And validation has passed. Oh, okay. Let's save as. Perfect. The design is saved. I can go back to Krita here. And go away from Megamek. So yeah, there is our final design. Yes, it is quite experimental. Experimental. Oh, goodness. So many puns today. Okay, well, there is Egg as a Battlemech, but it's also Egg, two eggs, the twin eggs, albumin and yolk, piloting the tripod war mech. I suppose this is an artillery command mech. Oh goodness. Allow me to put my simulated tablet away for a second here and get myself some liquid libation in the form of dihydrogen monoxide. Oh my gosh. Oh. Over 3 hours, but it was well worth it, I think. Slowly, the VTuber Battlemech universe expands. And I'm gonna have to go back and color Gale Strategos' mech. I think it also needs a nice shiny coat of paint. And Gale, I will find a full body reference sheet of you at some point. I will. I need it. Whew, okay, well, I will post this on Twitter, and I will make another post for basically reformatting the mech design contest just to give it a little more data and who else is already enough. Soon there will be enough for a squad. So right now we have half a lance, and a lance is a full four mechs, and that's considered the basic unit of organization in the inner sphere. In the clan world, they use the star, which is composed of 5 battle mechs. And the rule of thumb is 2 lances of inner sphere technology mechs can generally take on a single star of clan technology mechs. This is mixed, but it's also a support mech, so it should not go into the line of fire, considering how poorly laid out its armor is. Alright. I do hope he looks sexy. Alright, let me crop this. Let me crop this little guy down so that we're not wasting RAM for no reason. There we go. Save that. Move our reference image a little closer. Alright, there we go. Yeah, there's quite a few selected right now. I'm gonna be going through all of them, either offline or online. It's just today it happened that I could do it online, and I know it's a quite a niche thing. Although it is an art stream in the latter half, but oh boy, yeah, the design part is non-trivial. All right, let's move on to the space station for a little bit of a cool down here. Oof. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I want to thank everyone who has accompanied me on this journey of Battlemech design. I understand that it is not for everyone, and that it takes quite a bit of time, especially when you're not alone designing these. So did you do Gale, Egg, and the other two are coming up in the future. I'm not sure who, but we will see. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, guys. For whatever reason you may have enjoyed it. All right. But yes, I will be doing more VTubers. There's are still free to add them. I think this will have to be a bit of a longer term project, but I definitely want to make these renditions, especially since I mean it benefits me too. I enjoy the art practice, and it's just fun drawing. It's fun drawing and working on these perspective things that are, to be honest, quite challenging for me. And I already am noticing a problem. This foot is far too small. I'll have to correct it later. Okay. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Oh, so let's see. Before I forget, let's see who can in my FF logs who is available for a raid. And once I've selected that, I'll put all the Twitter links up and such. Oh goodness, shush, shush. Let's see. Oh goodness, we have quite a few folks. Miwa is online. Ha 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 ha. But first, I'm gonna see if anyone's playing Megamek right now. Is anyone live with Megamek? It is highly unlikely. There are very few people playing Megamek. Ah, okay. So no one is online playing Megamek. That is okay. Bat, Baka, and Miwa right now. Ah, okay. So we have quite a few folks. I do not think I am following Bat. Alaric, would you mind dumping Bat's channel in? Oh yes, we are done drawing at the moment. Uh, let me switch to the end result really quick. It's still up on Krita. Bat at video games. Monster Hunter World. Yes, untapped territory for me indeed. Here we go. Let me just copy that very quickly, just so I have for future reference. Bat at video games. Okay, let's see. I always like viewer input on who they want to follow. So we have Monster Hunter World, we have Scriblio, and we have Mahjong Soul. So whoever would like to raid is whoever the audience would like to pick. Miwa, did you just go offline? Oh, Miwa just went offline. Okay, so it's between Monster Hunter World and Scriblio, with Bakamitai or Bat at video games. Always vote Mahjong. Well, thank you for coming along, Miwa. Well, since your stream ended, we cannot vote Mahjong, unfortunately. Oh, you have a protege playing Dead Space. Well, you know what? This if it's someone who I have not rated before, yes, Scriblio. Feel free to post your proteges. Clams Cove. Oh, I think I've heard of Clams. Goodness, so many VTubers, so little time for even for VODs. Let's see what's happening here. Dead Space. Dead Space, Dead Space. Niwa, does Clams speak English? It's currently in Spanish right now, but I'm assuming I'm not going to assume. Oh, okay, bilingual. Ranked worldwide in Tetris. Impressive, very impressive. I'm not the best at that. Okay, well I think since I have not raided clams before, we can do that. So now we have a raid target. Excellent, excellent. All right, here we go. I will also provide a raid message shortly after pasting this. Oh, before I do this, before I run my timer out. Well, Niwa is certainly having influence. Well, it's someone who I have not heard of before, and considering with the viewer counts thing, I know that I was very grateful for those who rated me when I had fewer viewers, and it's not like I'm still bristling with viewers or anything, but I feel like it's good to at least give someone a chance to try out something new. So, on those grounds, and also on the grounds of Dead Space, I think that this is something I would like to do. And of course, everyone is, feel free to raid or not raid. Watch whoever you want. This is a free world, and enjoy your time on it as much as you can. All right, let's Oh goodness, what was I even thinking? Oh yes, the Twitter link. Let me shill myself a little bit here. At least the VTuber Battlemech's post. So here is the post, and let me give the one for any audience members who would like to have a Battlemech made. Right now, there's a lot of slots open, and if there are more than 8 viewer mechs or viewer mech ideas submitted, then I will randomly select 8 of them. Oh, thank you. I do wonder what your evidence is based on, but okay, well there we go. There's the links for that. And since I have been advertising for Egg this entire stream, I will once again post based on its foundation. Foundation. That is Foundation is a very interesting sci-fi series. Okay, and there's Eggs' Twitter. Of course. I think it's very nice when we spread the word of good tubing amongst the community, even if it's between other tubers. Yeah, space feudalism is just, it's a treat, especially with how backwards it seems, depending on your ideas of what is a good system of governance. All right, and with that, let's begin our raid upon clams. Oh goodness, let me get the name here again. I do not wish to misspell. Oh my, there we go, Clams Cove. I was about to spell Clams Casino, which would have been awful of me. Here we go, raid command. Oh, it's not a bot. Oh my goodness. There we are. Oh, it's been a long week. And allow me to present my dearest wingmates with some ammunition for their autocannons. Here you are. That is the raid message. Please use it wisely and try to avoid friendly fire. It is very easy to hit your wingmate when you're in a tight formation during the initial jump. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for coming to this rather obtuse stream. Mech design is a little strange, but I greatly enjoy it, and I hope that others enjoyed it too. We'll be doing this depending on how much time is available. We'll be designing as many VTubers and viewers as we can. Let's see, we've oh, do we have any new followers? I don't care if we do or do not. Robausk followed us 3 hours ago. Oh, all right, the raiders, Roman and Claulora. Thank you for the dual raid. That was incredibly appreciated. Robausk, thank you for joining the flotilla. All right, everybody. Fly safe, keep your propellant tanks topped off, make sure your calculations are locked in, and have a good one. Raid well.